Hey, everybody. It's Friday night.
Yeah, it's Friday night. We're not going out. We're going to stay in.
We're not going out, so...
We're going to stay here.
We're going to hang out with you guys and drink.
Stay with y'all and drink.
Get drunk and talk. That sounds fun, actually. Yeah,
get you guys...
I'm kind of too tired. And
yeah.
It's been a big couple of days.
Been fucking stressful, man.
Well, I mean, we had to get up early yesterday because I had to go to the Social Security and... We had to go look for the car yesterday, or like buy the car yesterday, and then today we were trying to do shit with the title transfer and all that other kind of crap. Yeah. So we got up really early this morning too. So I was like, I'm just kind of tired, and we don't have insurance on the car yet, and we don't have a tag for the car yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, probably
we got a plate on it, but it's not to that car.
I mean, the plate is my plate.
Yeah.
From my old car that I don't have anymore.
Right.
So I was like, well. You know, we might get away with it, but I would rather not risk it, to be honest.
Yeah. My title's in the mail. I tried to get the plate today, but they wouldn't give me a plate without
You have to get insurance first.
I didn't know I had to have insurance. I just thought I had to have the title.
Nah, it's a pain in the ass.
So
we got to sort out insurance tomorrow. And then we probably, the tag office, you probably have to go back there in person again, I imagine.
Yeah.
And we can't go Monday because Monday's President's Day, right? So I think everything's closed.
All the government Tuesday.
So we might have to go Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then I tried to, because I went to the Social Security and got my name change. And then, so today I was like, oh, I'll go to the DMV because he had to go there anyway. And I said, and I'll get my driver's license changed to the new name. And I had all the shit, or so I thought. I had the marriage certificate, I had my birth certificate, I had the old Social Security card, I had my passport. I was like, look, it's all of it. Just look.
Right.
And they were like, they're like, oh, well, we also need to see the divorce certificate, like from my first marriage. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't say that. But that's what I was thinking. I was like, bro, I don't even know where that is. I don't even know if they gave me one. I'm sure they did, but I don't know what the fuck happened to it. I was like, dude, I've moved like 4 or 5 times since then. I don't know where the shit that is. So it's like now I have to send a thing, and it was like $10. I just sent a check, for Christ's sake. I'm glad I still had some old checks somewhere. But it's just like, so I have to send that to the Office of Vital Statistics in Volusia County, which is where Daytona Beach is, and I have to send it over there, and they gotta send me another one. And I don't even remember what year it was. It was 2009 or 2010. I was like, you guys find it. I don't fucking know. You got to pay $2 for every year they have to search.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I was like, bro, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was 2010, but I'm not entirely certain. I was like, that was a long time ago. I don't know. I can't keep track of all this crap.
So we're welcoming you in to this weekend, getting y'all ready. Some of you are probably still at work, maybe driving. Maybe you're just going to stay at home like we're doing and drink, or just watch fucking movies. Well, if you wouldn't be watching movies, you wouldn't be listening to us. But so we're just going to slowly guide you into this weekend.
Gonna ease you into.
Ease
that
you
sounded kind of
weekend.
dirty.
Yeah, just ease.
We're gonna ease you into the weekend.
Ease you into the weekend, and
get lubed up.
Yeah, let it slide.
Oh, we're starting early. We're starting early.
Yeah.
Well, you know.
We got fucking rum and coke. Jen gave me some tequila for Valentine's Day.
Whatever fucking holiday that is. Yeah, I gave him some tequila, and I gave him some saltwater taffy.
Yeah, I got that at Almost Eaten Up.
I thought
it was a small one.
Well, yeah, I was like, because I thought about it before, like a couple years ago for Christmas or his birthday. I got him like a fucking 10-pound bag or some shit.
And I ate all that shit.
And he had ate all of it. Because I don't really like it all that much. I think I ate a couple of pieces of the peppermint ones because you didn't really like them. I was like, well, I'll eat the peppermint ones, but I don't really give a shit about the other flavor.
I love taffy.
Yeah.
It's very addictive to me, especially the fruit-flavored fucking taffy.
Yeah, he loves that shit.
And I seem to like cheap taffy better than fucking expensive taffy. Expensive taffy, it's the flavors aren't quite strong enough, and it's a little too gritty from the sugar. I like processed fucking fake ass mass production fucking taffy, and I like some of like the chocolate and Neapolitan and the root beer, but really I'm into the fruit flavors. I don't know why, but you just give me one of those things, I'm not gonna be able to stop eating it. So
he'll just eat the whole thing.
She gave me like a 10-pound bag, and I had to fight to get away from the fucking bag.
Yeah, because he would have just sat there and ate the whole 10-pound bag.
The whole fucking thing, man.
But so this time, I was, more. I said, well, I'll get him some, but I'm not gonna get him a 10-pound bag. I got him like about that size jar.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I love that shit.
I know, because I was like, well, he'll probably eat that in one sitting, but you know what I mean? Oh, and I also bought him some movies. I bought him Dark City.
Yeah.
And The Cell.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and Xanada sent 2 movies for review. He sent Blood Diamonds and The Others, I think.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was from you, Xanadu, wasn't it? Because I think that you said you were going to send it.
Yeah. I don't know who it was. I think it was from him.
I think
on the package it had a girl's name.
Yeah, so it was like Emily.
Yeah, but I was going like I think Xanadu was sending this.
Yeah, so if you did send it, tell me because it's like that's probably the one that we're gonna review next because I really want to watch that again. I saw that in the theater. I love that movie, and I saw it again like one more time. I think you'll probably dig it. It's really cool. It's like a creepy ghost story. You know what I mean?
I remember really liking The Cell. J-Lo was looking fucking great, and then in the dream sequences, she's all gothed out and everything. I thought she looked great. It was a fucking creepy movie.
Well, yeah, see, I remembered that you had talked about it, and I was just kind of like, when I was thinking of stuff to get, I was just going to make like a little grab bag of stuff.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it. I've seen, and then when we were talking about Dark City, I was like, oh, you probably love Dark City, but you've never seen it, so I said, well, I'm just going to get it for him.
We got that one?
Yeah, I got you that one.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, Xana said The Others is for Jenny. I sent it specifically for her. Plus, I love Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
And I sent Blood Diamond for Tom. Yeah. I think you'll like The Others too, maybe. Well, I don't know. We'll see. But I love The Others.
Xanadu, man, you got to see Vivarium. He doesn't know anything about it, so I'm not going to tell you anything about it. Just got to see it.
Most movies are better if you don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
Well, not always, but I mean, most of the time they are.
It's a horror movie, but kind of sci-fi and weird, and it's going to disorient you. But then once it's over and you kind of think about it, you go, "Oh, okay, I know what happened. Yeah, but you'll see. It's a fucking good movie.
It's very Twilight Zone-y, but in the best possible way.
Yeah. It's an Irish movie.
It is, yeah.
And it's fucking
like none of the actors in it are Irish, but the director is.
It's got Jesse Eisenberg, which I think that dude's a genius.
Yeah, and Imogen Poots.
Yeah. I like Eisenberg. I like him in the indie films that he wanted to be involved in.
Yeah.
Like his own projects. He's fucking like Art of Self-Defense and Vivarium. I thought they were fucking fantastic.
He picks interesting roles.
Yeah.
Which is always
some of his stuff is just mainstream, like, money projects. They're not that interesting. But the shit that he fucking...
I liked him in Zombieland also.
Yeah, that was kind of mainstream, but it was okay. Yeah.
I mean, I liked the first Zombieland better than the sequel.
Okay, people are starting to show up.
Zach says, do you ever get kind of emotional when you stop using an old thing like a car for a new one? I don't know why, but I get like that when I get a new phone. Sometimes.
We're going to tell a story here.
I thought that I would be more upset by selling my old car, my Ford. But I wasn't really that bothered because we've had it a long time. Well, I think that's why, because, if you haven't, he's going to tell the story. He's going to tell the story.
Yeah.
He's going to tell the story.
All right. Let's make sure everybody's here. Okay. So I was going to buy this Cadillac. It was a 2009.
This is what we did yesterday. We went to the lot where the Cadillac was.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
I can't believe that was yesterday.
Yeah, it was yesterday. It was Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, boy. No wonder I'm so fucking tired.
We've done a lot of shit in the last few days.
So there was this Cadillac. It was a STS 2009. Kind of a red color. And it looked okay when we first saw it. And I was like, yeah, okay. They wanted $8,000 for it. But I knew I could bring them down because I had cash. And I had a trade. I had Jenny's trade. So I talked to him over the phone, asked some questions about it over about a week. I was going to go down there, when I got my first check, I wasn't able to access the money. They put a hold on it.
For a week, we had to wait.
Yes. So during that week, I'd call them and I'd ask them a question if it come to mind about the car. They ran a Carfax on it. So they were telling me a little bit of the car's personal history. So I go there. I thought the car looked great, We get inside. I start driving it. And that car drove like shit. It did not feel like a luxury car. When you think of Cadillacs, you think of a fucking like high-end feel. That's what comes to mind. Like, oh, this is the Cadillac. It's the Cadillac of shoes or whatever. Well, shit, man, those means some fucked up shoes now because having driven this Cadillac, I wasn't fucking impressed with it. It was like driving Jen's
old Ford Taurus.
It rode a rough, man. It was and as I'm driving it, I'm looking and I'm noticing that the
dashboard.
the upper dashboard is cracked from the sun. And I'm going, what the fuck, gent? Your Ford is older than this by several years.
By 5 years, yeah.
5 years, and it's been outside in the sun the whole time.
Yeah, it's been sitting in the driveway for years and years.
Not a single fucking crack in the dashboard. There's fucking none of the interior shit is faded. And I'm looking at this shit and I'm going, this does not feel like fucking Cadillac, man. This feels like low-end Chevy. And Cadillac is owned by Chevy. It's General Motors. So they own a couple brands. They own a lot of brands, GM brands. And I never really liked any of the GM cars. And it just felt cheap and it rode cheap. And then I'm looking at the center console, which I planned to replace anyway. But I'm noticing that there's a computer glitch going on in the middle of the fucking radio display. And I'm going, what the fuck is up with this thing? And then I'm driving it, engine warning light comes on.
The check engine light came on.
I start gunning it. Stopping it, gunning it a couple times. Engine warning light came on. I said, yeah, let's see what they're fucking doing. I'll buy this thing for $6,000 or $7,000, and I'm dropping another fucking $4,000 in it to get it right. I just brought it back, and he says, so what'd you think? And I go, it's got an engine warning light. Okay, I'm sorry to hear that. Dude, it's okay. I just shook his hand and walked off. He didn't even
now he did. They did, to their credit, because this car lot, it's a local place. It's not like a big chain or anything.
Yeah.
And they've been there for 25 years, in Eustis or Mount Dora, whatever the fuck they consider that. I'm not really sure, but they did take it into the shop because they have a shop like right across from there.
Yeah.
And they did text us later and say that they had replaced, because they found out what it was. It was the O2 sensors or whatever. So they did replace them. So they were trying to get us to come back and get it, but I was just kind of like, I don't know. So
I wasn't if that car rode fucking awesome. It felt like a luxury car the way it drove. Then maybe I would have considered it, but it just didn't feel like a luxury car. It felt like an economy car.
So after that, we kind of looked around because we're like, well, what else do you have for cash? Because we don't have finance anything. And they did have some cash cars. And he even showed us the ones that hadn't been through, the inspection and everything yet. Because they do kind of inspect them and fix them and everything before they put them on the lot. And they had a couple that were sort of interesting, but we weren't really... I mean, that Buick looked nice, but that was an SUV, and I don't really want an SUV.
The shit we weren't looking for.
Right. We wanted a sedan or a smaller car.
And none of these things I've ever worked on.
Yeah.
And none of these things I ever had any personal experience with. I'm a Ford guy. I've owned a lot of Fords. I have a lot of fucking confidence in Ford products. And when I said that to that dude, he goes, yeah, you see my car, right? And I look, and he goes, I got that. Mine's that Fox body. He had a fucking 1984.
I thought it was a 93. I thought he said
93.
It was a 93.
That's right. It's the last year. I was thinking 84. That was the year that came out. It was a 93 convertible Fox body.
Nice color.
Mustang.
It was like teal-ish. Yeah.
Yeah, the 5.0.
Nice.
Fucking 5.0.
Nice looking car.
Yeah, fucking 5-speed on the floor. Fucking, and it looked fucking mint. Fucking all redone, white interior, white.
Yeah, he was the guy that runs the place is a car guy, and he had like rebuilt it all.
So I was telling him, fucking said, I got experience with fucking, police package Crown Vic. I've fucking worked on a lot of them. Fucking built motors and shit. I probably built 30 fucking 4.6 fucking Ford modular motors and a 3.8 out of the old Mustang that I owned. The fucking Essex engine. It was a piece of shit. Although it was a good engine. It's just it didn't make any power. Should have got that 5.0, but that's not what was available at the time. But so he kind of understood. He's like, yeah, you kind of want the retro shit. So we go get some Chinese food.
We're talking about it.
Fucking talking about it.
We went and got some coffee.
Yeah.
Got some Chinese
went
food.
Back, saw him again. I didn't bite. I head back home, and I passed the fucking Mercury Grand Marquis that fucking right across the street from this complex.
Old man on a farm right across the street.
That's right. I passed it and looked at it twice, but didn't call the number on it. It looked pretty good. Pulled up there and called the number. He had 4,200 written on it. Turned it on. It ran okay. He got in there. We fucking drove around. Fucking, it was like driving a cloud. It was in 1999 with 100,000 miles, which is nothing on a fucking.
Which is the thing about it. It's 5 years older than my old car, but it had significantly fewer miles on it.
Yeah, and
my car had 167,000,
and it was very well taken.
And this only had 101,000.
The exterior is about 97%. The interior is probably 95%.
It is very well cared for.
Yeah, it
was his wife's car.
It was his wife, and she died.
He's an elderly gentleman,
yeah.
And his wife died 2 months ago.
Yeah,
and it was her car. He has a Crown Vic.
He's got a Crown Vic. The Mercury Grand Marquis, the Crown Victoria, and the Ford Crown Victoria, Mercury Grand Marquis, and the Lincoln Town Car. They're all Ford products, are basically the same car. They're just levels of fit and finish and how much fucking extras are on it. The Crown Vic is what we used here. If you're a foreigner, the Crown Vic is what we used as the most successful police car. It was fucking, that shit was around 20 years on a force, man. Also, like one of the most successful fucking taxis. They were fucking known as a fleet vehicle. Big old V8, Ford modular V8, bullet fucking proof. The Mercury version was the same thing, but it had an air suspension in the back and a little more deluxe interior, leather interior and shit. And then the Lincoln was the top of the line. That was their version of it was a limo, basically, like a personal fucking limo. They actually had limousine versions of them. It was the same thing as a Mercury Grand Marquis, except it was stretched. I think it was stretched about 9 inches. And I think the rear doors were bigger, so it was just fucking huge. I think it was the same engine, or mostly the same engine. I think you could get one of those an engine out of fucking F-250 if it was armored, because they had armored packages for VIP protection and shit. Looked like some president was fucking driving around in, and fucking governors fucking rode around in fucking the armored fucking Lincoln Town cars. They're fucking pretty. Well, those cars are cheap in the United States because the owners die.
Because they're kind of considered grandpa cars.
And it's considered a fucking grandpa car.
And I will admit that this does kind of look like a grandpa car.
It kind of looks like
it's technically it's a grandma car.
I'm going to show you. I got videos.
But I think it's cool looking, though. Like, yeah, it totally looks like a 90s car.
Totally.
But that's okay.
It's 90s as shit. But this bitch is fucking slick. Now, it's got a lot of work. He gave it to me with a bad alternator. So, not a big deal. I can replace one in 10 minutes on a Vic.
It's right there.
It's right there on top. You just loosen the belt, fucking
easy.
4 bolts. Put it in there and fucking plug it in. Actually, 6 bolts. 6 10mm bolts. And because the fucking alternator's bad, you got to assume the battery's bad too, because that fucking bad alternator's been destroying that battery. So battery and alternator replaced. Then we started driving it. An engine warning light came on, and it started to run real rough after a while, which tells me that it's fucking O2 sensors.
Which I had go bad on my Honda.
Yeah, they always go bad. They go bad
ago.
on Crown Vics and fucking Lincolns and fucking Mercuries. They're not expensive. They're about $20 a piece, and there's 4 of them. They're just in the exhaust before and after the catalytic converters. You got to get up in there and fucking unscrew them and plug them in. So, upstream, downstream O2s. I'm going to put those in there. I'm going to do those tomorrow. And AC started to cycle on and off real fucking short, which means that it's low. It stopped blowing cold air. And when it cycles rapidly like that, it means that it's out of coolant, which means there's a coolant leak somewhere. The wisest thing, I'm just gonna put refrigerant back in it and see how bad the leak is. You know, it might buy me a few months. It might be a thing where, you only have to do it once a month. Maybe once every other month. Some leaks are real slow. But if it's a fast leak, I'm just going to bite the bullet, get a compressor for probably about $250. I might install the compressor and do some shit myself if I know what the leak is. But then I'll have somebody else purge it and charge it. That'll save me some money. And then you just got to keep driving them. And keep waiting for errors and problems to come up. And you solve them as they appear. Because I don't know everything on this car. I don't know where this car has been. some of that shit's old. So you got to run it until you find a problem. You know, then you replace it. Power steering seems fucking good. It's only 100,000 miles. Power steering will last longer than that. Water pump seems good. Usually it's the fucking, in Florida, alternators and AC compressors. They just choose them up. And batteries.
I have had many alternators go bad on my many cars over the years. But what?
It's also got sign of bad plugs and plug wires and bad coils. So it's coil over plug system. It's just a wire with a coil that goes over the fucking spark plug. So I'm gonna fucking. That's about.
Well, we replaced that when we bought my Taurus, did we not?
Yeah, we did that. That's just part of a tune-up.
Yeah, that's
you got to replace fucking.
As soon as we got the Taurus, we put new tires on it. We put new coil pack in it. We put. I don't even remember what all we put in there.
What I'll do is I'll replace the fucking spark plugs and all the fucking coils and the fucking spark plug wires. They're connected on this car, and see how better that ride gets. Maybe those warnings might go away.
Yeah,
but I doubt it. It was the way it was running. That's probably O2 sensors, and it's just shit that you change. You know, you just change it. When you buy a car, you don't know how old that shit is. Change it.
You know, but what's cool is that.
Oh, we gotta say how much we paid for it.
Well, that's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah.
So we had 4,200 on it, and Tom's like, "I'll give you 3,500." He's like, "Nah." So he's like, "Okay, well, I'll give you 4 for it," and he was like, "Yeah, okay, I can do that." And then he saw because we had parked my Taurus like just on the side of his property or whatever. And I said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna sell. That's my car, and I'm just gonna sell that." It's like I know it doesn't look all that great.
Yeah, so he says, "That's a good car."
And he's like, "Well, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna like sell it to a friend or something?" I said, "I don't know. I'll probably just put it on Facebook Marketplace or something." He's like, "Well, I'll buy it," or he's like, "I'll trade it."
Yeah, I'll trade you 1,000 for it.
He's like, "So I'll knock 1,000 off, and I'll take your car." And I was just like,
"So I got this car for $3,000."
Yeah, and he also took my car off my hands, and I didn't have to clean it or nothing.
Yep.
I was like, okay, it's your problem now.
Got this car for $3,000. I got a battery and an alternator in it, which is putting me at about $200 something. No, almost $300 because I think it was $230 for a brand new alternator and about $100 something. It might have been a little bit more. I think it might have been close to $200 for that battery. That's a big, heavy duty fucking battery. Because I got good shit. When you replace something, just replace it with the best shit they got. If you're fixing a car and you use an inferior part, you're just gonna come back fucking 4 years later and fix it again.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well bite the bullet
just
and get
fucking
the good shit.
buy the best fucking replacement part they got for it. So I'm gonna show you guys the car. This is it. Check it out now.
Okay, well, wait a minute.
This is a fucking pimped out red fucking grand marquee with blacked out fucking windows.
We're gonna look like drug dealers.
It looks like a drug dealer car, and it's only cost me.
People are gonna be trying to buy drugs.
No, I'm gonna sink another $2,000 in it.
I was like, look, I don't have any drugs. I wish I did.
I'll probably sink another $2,000 in it, but still.
You want me to show it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what order.
5,000.
This is the order you sent them to me. So if it's
the order
wrong,
that you sent them. Yep.
So if it's wrong, I apologize.
And it's got sound, so you can hear the car running. The car's running.
And you can also hear the wind blowing outside because it was kind of windy today.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there it is. That's our driveway.
Yeah, I was low light actually because there was so much. That car in person looks fucking really good.
I mean, look how nice that is.
I'll get some daytime photos of it. That's the house right there, by the way. That's where we live. That bitch is fucking pimped out. And I got new fucking center caps coming. I'm gonna mix. Alright, this is the trunk. Huge fucking trunk with a spare.
I can't believe how clean the trunk is.
I'm gonna show the interior. Interior is about fucking 90% all leather.
No, you got interior on the 30.
On the 30. That's right. No, I want them to hear what it sounded like.
It sounds like an engine running.
Yeah, it's running good.
I mean, like I said, this is a 1999.
Yeah,
they took very good care of this car.
Yeah. Fake wood trim.
I'm embarrassed to say that my Ford Taurus, if you filmed it from inside, it would not look anywhere near that nice. And my car was 5 years newer than this one, and it looked significantly shittier.
That's it.
Yeah. All right, so let me go back to this shit here.
If you've never driven one of those, they drive even fucking better than a Crown Vic when they have the air ride. But he's eliminated the air shocks. Most people say that the air shocks are that came stock with that felt a little stiffer, but it had a nice kind of weird ride to it. People liked it. But I think I'm going to leave it. He deleted the air shocks and went with a Crown Victoria. Just fucking springs and regular shock absorbers. I'd probably just leave it like that. Shock absorber, sway bar.
Yeah, he seems like he seems like a guy because he had several cars on his.
Yeah.
I want to call it a compound. It's not exactly a compound. It's like he had a house.
Farm.
Yeah, he had like a farm, and then he had like a barn, and then he had another garage over here and some other garages. And so he seemed like a car guy, but you know he's older. I wouldn't hazard a guess as to how old
Probably
he was.
about 80.
He looked about at least.
Yeah.
But he was like real interested in cars and like liked to futz around with them and stuff. So, you know they kind of talked about that. But the funny thing, do you remember he said when you were talking about like the computer and everything like that, he said that he didn't have a computer.
Yeah. So when the wife died, he threw all the computers away.
Because I guess his wife used the computer, but she died, like I said, 2 months ago. And he's like, he doesn't want to use the computer, so he like put it, he stuffed it in the garage. He doesn't want to use it. And I was like, oh.
Once I get the car running a little bit better than it is now, I mean, it runs. It's
but he just lives right across the street from us.
It's reliable, but it's just that it runs rough because the fuel mapping is bad because it can't, the computer's fucking blind. It can't see the O2 sensors well, so it's just running off a stock map basically. But a default fucking emergency fucking fuel map. Once I get all that shit sorted, I'm gonna put that damn a header in there, the fucking computer system in the middle, infotainment center. You can get it, flush screen, fucking touch screen with fucking navigation and Bluetooth, and your stereo can go through it. You can have fucking video.
We're gonna do the backup camera and all.
Yeah, backup camera.
You can put
one of those in there.
You can put all of that in there for just a couple $100.
So, yeah, for under $200, under $300. I can do all the installations, and probably gonna shampoo those carpets and the fucking seat belts. If the carpets don't turn out, I can get that whole carpet for that car for $100.
I mean, everything in there looks clean.
Yeah,
but I think that whoever drove it like maybe was a smoker.
Yeah, you can smell cigarettes.
But it's just very, very faint. Yeah. It's very faint.
Driving this car, if you've never driven an American luxury car like that, it's like driving on a silent cloud of power. It's just a fucking mellow, chilled out, strong V8 engine. It only makes about 230 horsepower, but it makes a shit ton of torque. You don't really have to put your foot into it to fucking get any pull or acceleration off of it. Gas economy on the highway is about 27, that's not bad for a V8, especially one of that age.
That's pretty similar to what my Taurus was getting.
Your Taurus
to be honest
18.
With you. Well, yeah.
Is averaging 18.
Well, my Taurus also had the check engine light on for many years, but it was a vacuum leak. I mean, I knew what it was, but it's just like for a long time, it's like fuck it, it still runs. The only time it was real rough is if it was
cold.
Yeah. And it didn't have to be cold. It just had to be like under 65 degrees. And then sometimes when you were idling, like it would start going clunk, 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 and sometimes it would stall like every now and then. But most of the time, like not at all. I didn't have hardly any trouble with that car. But I think the guy, his name was Howard, right?
Yeah, his name was Howard.
Yeah, he just lives like like literally, you could walk to his house from here. He lives like right across the street from our housing complex.
Yeah.
And I think he liked that the car was going to a neighbor.
Yeah.
And I thought it was cool too that I didn't ask him to buy my car. I didn't ask to trade or anything like that. He just basically said,
I'll buy it. Yeah.
He's like, well, what are you going to do with it? And I said, I don't know. I'll probably put it on Marketplace or something or sell it to a friend. Or he's like, well, I'll take it. He's like, I'll take it for $1,000 and knock $1,000 off. I was like, all right. I was like, it's not clean. It doesn't really, all the paint's burned off the top and it's got mold on it and shit. But it's like, if you want to deal with it, then.
Yeah, Gramthars is in. Gramthars, you know this car, bro. You probably served with this car. It's just a deluxe Crown Vic. That's all it is.
Tom just wanted one that was big enough to have sex in. I think that was kind of what.
No, I always loved the Crown Vic.
I'm just teasing you.
I thought the Crown Vic and anything that was like a Crown Vic, the Grand Marquis and the Lincoln Town Car, I just thought they were just awesome cars. Yeah, they're an old mad car, but there's something about them. They're just, well, first of all, they're easy to fix and to work on. It's an empty engine bay. You can reach in there. You can change an alternator in 10 minutes, literally.
Like I said, it's lit. It's right there.
It's just right, yeah. They weren't trying to get it all packed into one area. You know, it wasn't built up by a robot that was layering it in. It was meant to be a fleet vehicle that you ran and fixed things and repaired parts and replaced things, and there had to be enough room to get your hands in there. And it's a big car. And they were a fucking excellent police cruiser, or police interceptors too. And it was a different package. They had real heavy duty wheels on them. Of course they had fucking pit bar on the front, and then they had the fucking cage in the back seat, so your prisoner couldn't fucking kill you. And they had a lot of cool shit in the truck.
Maybe we should install one of those. Then if we ever give somebody a ride, you'd be like, get in the back. You can pretend you're under arrest.
Well, you can get the cruisers. You can buy.
I know.
Yeah, you can buy a cruiser.
I was like, but I wonder if they sell that like aftermarket, so you can pretend it's a
yeah, there's probably.
I bet somebody sells that.
Well, no, there's probably some surplus out there.
I bet somebody sells that shit.
But I think a lot of that, if I remember correctly, they came equipped from Ford like that to a police fleet. So they weren't assembled at the state police level. So Ford made them like that.
That'd be hilarious. You're picking up a friend from the airport and you're just like, okay, I'm gonna have to put the cuffs on you and put you in the cage in the back.
But you can get those cars at auction.
Yeah, I know.
They're out there and they're ready. The lights and everything. And a lot of them, some of them still have fucking markings on them, or some of the markings.
Yeah, serial killers love that shit.
Yeah.
Because you can pull people over.
I've never seen one with the light package on the top.
No, I haven't either. But I mean, I'm sure there's probably some kind of regulation.
And a lot of the light packages weren't on the top too. They changed them. They had them fucking concealed, like in fucking.
Well, somebody there on the front of the dashboard,
so,
in the.
They had a bunch of different ways of doing it.
In the middle of the windshield.
Low profile versions. And everything. But I was very impressed with the Crown Vic's, just its service life as a police car and a taxi. It with proper maintenance, you could easily get 450,000 miles out of a fucking.
Well, that's what we're
out
hoping.
of a car.
I mean, me and Tom were like, well, it was older than my old car, but I was like, we want something that will last us the rest of our lives. Because we don't drive that much.
They don't drive that much.
We don't drive that much.
It would take a long time for us to put 50,000
It only has 100,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So I was like, how long would it take us to put another 200,000 miles? We'll be dead before then.
Yeah,
sure.
I don't even think we'd get 100,000 on it.
We probably won't.
We wouldn't drive it enough.
There's no way.
I'm gonna pimp it out. I'm gonna fucking upgrade it. I might, I'll replace things. You know what I mean? I like replacing the see, the motor is just the power source that runs all the accessories, like your power steering and your fucking alternator and everything. All those accessories connected to that engine, I feel a lot better when I put them all on there. I know how old they are.
Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, that's kind of true anytime you buy a used car because you don't really know.
You don't know
what that person has done, and you don't know. I wouldn't trust it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't really trust a new car.
So once I get a lot of those accessories replaced, maybe I'll put a water pump in it, and maybe I'll power steering's okay because power steering goes bad, you can still drive. You know what I mean? That's not something that's going to.
I have to say the power steering on this car is like really nice.
Oh yeah.
I was driving around the neighborhood like getting used to it, and I was just like when I turned, I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, that's like butter.
You can palm like that.
Yeah.
And just palm the.
My Taurus was not like that.
And do that.
My Taurus was not. My Taurus had power steering too, but it wasn't like that. Dave is here. Hopefully he's still here. This was a while back. He says, "Hey, you two. Gotta say, even tired, Mrs. Ross still looks amazing." Well, thank you very much. Yeah.
Yeah, Zed is saying his friend had one of these cars. It's beautiful.
It is. It's very nice.
He says and I'm right that it's like riding on a cloud. It's like riding on a cloud of American power. The only thing missing is like eagles flying along next to you and the fucking damn.
Oh my god, how fucking funny!
Yeah, it's just boomer as fuck, and they get the eagles flying next to you.
We'll put some taxidermied eagles on wire on the sides,
and the waving American flag and the fucking national anthem going as you're driving. Fucking
we'll put
just boomer as shit.
Speakers on
speakers. Got a portrait of Ronald Reagan next to you and shit.
I mean. Well, see, but the sad thing about that is in this area, if you did that, I don't think anybody would think that was ironic. They'd be like, yeah.
Yeah, in this area, that wouldn't even be considered. That wouldn't even stand out.
Nobody would bat an eye.
They would just go, yeah, of course.
Nobody would bat an eye.
America.
Yeah. They wouldn't think that was funny or ironic. They would just be like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Eustace. So yeah. Do you know our friend Chad?
Yeah.
And he was actually born in Lake County.
Okay, yeah.
And when he discovered, because he'd been in Korea, he taught English over there for many years.
Yeah.
And he moved back, and he was talking to me. I think it was after I posted our wedding pictures. And I said that we had moved to Eustace, and he's like, "Oh my God, you moved to the LC, Lake County." And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Man, that was one of the reasons I moved away."
Yeah, he wasn't here during the same time. It was. I remember what the time he was talking about. But there used to be nothing here. When I first moved in 2008, there wasn't anything.
I mean, there's stuff here now. It's still kind of few and far between. Like I said, we got excited because they're building a Dunkin' Donuts up the street from us.
Yeah.
Because, well, it's the first. We don't have any fast food within 5 miles. Can I say that? That's about right?
Yeah.
I mean, the nearest fast food is probably about 7 or 8 miles away.
Yeah.
Which isn't horribly far, but I'm just saying that.
I
mean, well, no,
food.
I'm going to say, okay, we have a Domino's.
We have a Domino's. It's 3 miles.
We have a Domino's. We have a Chinese takeout.
Yeah.
We have a diner that does like breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
And we have a really
closed.
good. No, it's still there.
Still there? Okay.
The ice cream place closed.
Okay. Yeah.
There was an ice cream coffee place that closed. And we have an actually very good Japanese restaurant.
Yeah.
Like a sushi restaurant.
Yeah, it's real good.
Which you wouldn't think from this area, but it's actually very good. It's called Momiji.
Yeah, go in there and all of a sudden you're in Tokyo. It's all black and silver and red on the inside.
It's very nice in there. I was the first time we ate in there, because we've eaten in there like many times since then.
And whoever, and it's Asian guys running it, but whoever's doing the hiring, he's got some kind of booty fixation. Every girl that works in there is a big booty blonde farm girl. Every one of them.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's just like.
Except we had a
guy.
We had a dude waiter last
We had
time.
a dude waiter. Yeah, I'm a guy. I notice it though. Every woman in there is
has a big butt.
Big. Yeah. He's not interested in boobs. He's only interested in
well,
booty.
that's fair enough.
Because he
guys
seems
are
to be
butt. Some guys are butt.
Some of these girls are kind of flat, but they just huge. I appreciate a good booty. You know what I mean? I understand it.
He likes a good booty.
But I can tell that that's one of the factors in hiring practices.
I'm sure it is.
If you show up in there with a booty, you're going to become a waitress.
I will say though that the first time that we ate there, because I'm sitting there going, it's like, it's a strip mall type place. There's a Publix, there's a liquor store, there's a nail salon.
It is unremarkable in every way.
Yeah, there's, like I said, there's a Domino's, there's a breakfast place, there's a Chinese takeout. So there's this nice Japanese restaurant, and I was just like, well, how good could that be? Like in this area? But I was actually really surprised. I'm like, this is actually
and it is
very good.
What she's describing isn't ratty. It's a new construction.
Yeah, it's not old.
All that stuff's built new. And there's a Walgreens, or is that a CVS?
It's a CVS.
CVS, out in front of it.
In the parking
But there's
lot,
like a good sushi restaurant there. But the thing is here's
man,
the
you
deal.
go there and get the bento box for lunch. That shit's delicious.
Yeah, but the thing is that in that little strip mall, there's also a Publix, and fast food can't compete with Publix bakery.
No.
You can go in there and for fucking $8 get a huge fucking po' boy or hoagie or sub sandwich, whatever you want to talk about, for $8. And just with boar's head.
Not even. Like some of them are $6.99 depending on what you get.
Depends on what you get. I like roast beef, so it's
I do too. Roast beef and Swiss. On the multigrain bread.
Yeah, but if you get the full one on multigrain, you're stuffed by the time you get.
You can't really eat the whole thing in one sitting unless you're really hungry.
So a lot of people just go to Publix.
And honestly, I've gone down there, like if you were gone or, something like that, and I was just like, oh, I just want something really quick, and I was too lazy to wait for a sandwich, because you do got to wait for them to make it, and sometimes it takes a long time. Like, they have a bunch of stuff already made in their deli. Like, they have salads, like, they have cold fried chicken, they have, like, all kind of different stuff, and it's like...
hot roasted chickens.
They have quiche. They got all kind of shit in there. It's, like, really, really good.
Yeah, all different kinds of sides.
They got soups, all kind of stuff.
Yeah, macaroni salad, fucking...
So you just go in. So sometimes I just go in there and just be like, I'm gonna get some pasta salad and like this. They have a really nice like cranberry chicken salad sandwich, like on a croissant.
That shit was so good in this area that Winn-Dixie had to up their game.
Well, yeah.
Winn-Dixie had to rebuild all their restaurants or all their markets, and they had to fucking have a badass deli. Winn-Dixie's deli last I went was good too.
Yeah, well, everybody had to, like I said,
everybody
had to step up.
Yeah.
If you didn't step up, then
yeah,
because the competition got a lot stiffer.
And Winn-Dixie had a damn salad bar.
Yeah.
And a buffet.
Yeah.
That was another thing. And all those work crew guys.
I never ate anything from the Winn-Dixie like little buffet.
It was good. I used to go there.
I don't think I ever ate anything.
When I was working in a barn, I used to stop there, and fucking you'd have all the damn roofers, you know, from the Honduran and the Venezuelan roofers and shit, coming in there, and they would because you could go through the buffet and pay kind of like by the pound.
Yeah.
So they get their stuff and they just weigh it.
Yeah.
They charge it on
a lot of places in like New York City and
Yeah.
stuff like that are like that.
And it was real fast. So a truckload of 6 could go in there and they could all be in and out of there in fucking 10 minutes, 5 minutes.
Yeah, which is important because you probably
Right.
don't get that long for lunch. You know what I mean? So you got to like get something real quick.
Right.
But yeah, I used to go down to Publix all the time. Like their subs are amazing, and their cakes are amazing. Their bakery is fucking
everything's good.
Fantastic. We get cakes
Their
there.
ice cream's great.
Yeah, like every time we have like someone's birthday, if it's my birthday or his birthday, everybody's like always like, I want this Publix cake.
Yeah.
Like we always get Publix cake.
Yeah.
But like I said,
order all that shit online.
even the stuff they make ahead and
Yeah.
put in the cold case, like I've eaten a lot of that stuff, like all the different salads and sandwiches and stuff like that, and all of that is good. They got Cubans, they got all kind of stuff. And their fried chicken is out of this world also. And you can just go and they got rotisserie chicken, they got fried chicken, they got everything. And you get like all the sides and rolls and shit like that, and it's really cheap.
Hold on. Fucking Zach wants me to say something. He sent me a picture of his new glasses.
Oh yeah, he was saying about that. I know I'm getting like behind, but you know what I mean. Yeah. High Desert said no road trips. I mean, maybe one of these days. I was kind of thinking about that. I was like, maybe we should.
Okay.
Because we never did do like a honeymoon type of thing, but it's just like I don't know.
They look good on you, Zach. You want me to show this picture, Zach?
Let me see it. Oh, I like those.
Yeah.
I like those.
I can show.
Yeah, they're kind of like mine, but they're not quite as big.
Yeah.
I ordered another pair of these, but I think they're slightly smaller.
I'm not gonna show you until you give me permission.
Well, that's good. Yeah, don't go showing pictures of people because they're like, hey, don't show pictures of me. Yeah, Xana said we have a really good Vietnamese soup restaurant here. It's phenomenal. Yeah, there's a couple of like Vietnamese restaurants not close to here, but like that I want to show that. He said show it.
There's Zach. Zach with
There's
his
Zach
new glasses.
with his, whoops. Don't you
Zach with his new glasses.
I like those actually.
Yeah.
I think those look good.
Zach, those glasses make you look straight, man. You might have to take them off.
Don't tell him that.
Okay.
I don't think they make you look straight.
No, actually, that's
I like them.
That's
I'm not being an asshole. I like them.
nah. Fucking Toby is like, doesn't make me look gay, does it? I said, no, man, you look straight as fuck. Okay, good.
Our friend Toby is so funny because he's super gay, but he's just kind of like, he's like, this doesn't make me look gay, does it? I'm just like, you are gay though.
Yeah.
He's just like,
He
yeah.
asked me if it look.
Yeah, but he doesn't like to look
I just
gay.
go no.
Like I said, he's very into the Rob Halford.
Yeah, he's a
like
leather daddy.
Like a fetish kind
Yeah.
of. More fetishy than
Yeah.
heavy metal.
He's my fucking boy, man. Fucking, I love Toby.
Toby's
fucking
awesome.
hilarious. He's a good dude.
He's our age, like Brett.
Yeah.
Or maybe
he's older than me.
He's actually like a little bit
Yeah.
older. Yeah, he's in his 50s.
Yeah. He's
Maybe we
coming
should-
up on his late 50s.
Maybe we should get a Barbarella and Marinette because he'll probably be there.
Yeah.
For Saturday.
Yeah, we might do something about that.
I mean, we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what
How I
happens.
get the car going. Well,
Yeah, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know how it'll go. But yeah, we discovered, I probably mentioned this the other day, but we discovered a Thai restaurant in this really kind of run down strip mall. And that shit was really good.
Yeah.
I was really surprised. What ended up happening was because I told Tom, I was like, man, I really want some Thai food. Where's like a good Thai place around here?
Yeah.
And the place that was the closest, we went there. They were supposed to open at noon. We got there like right at noon, and then we sat there, and then they didn't open, and we went and knocked on the door being like, are you in there? Like, and nobody answered, and we're just like, okay. So we're like, okay, so is there another Thai place close to here? And they're like, yeah, there's another one like a mile away or something. So we went to this other place, and it's in this big, huge strip mall. Half the stores are closed, But I think there's a rent-a-center, which should tell you something. There's a honey-baked ham. There's a bingo parlor. There was that. I don't even remember what else was in there. And we went to the place, and it's tiny, but holy shit, that food is great.
Yeah.
It's really good.
And you get a lot of sit-down business. They only got 4 or 5 tables in there, and
it's like, tiny.
And it's always like people from New York and fucking. Like every time we've been there, it's always like some kind of international travelers.
Yeah. It's a tiny and you would never think because it's just so unassuming. Just like I said, it's in this it's like in this big strip mall that like half the places are closed, like the the parking lot is all fucked up and full of potholes and shit like that.
That's a rundown.
It's very rundown.
Yeah.
But it's so 80s. I was surprised cuz we got there and I was just like, "Oh man, how good can this be?" But holy shit, that food was food was amazing. I had pad thai in there. We had the we also had those not pot stickers, but
no, we had they were what they were.
Well, we got crab rangoon the first time.
We got Thai crab rangoon.
Yeah,
crab rangoon does not belong on a Thai.
No, it doesn't. But
it doesn't really even belong on a Chinese fucking menu.
Well, you know, I'll eat it.
But what they did was, if you ever had crab rangoon, it's a wonton, and you take cream cheese, and usually you have a little bit of canned crab in it.
Yeah, like crab.
Maybe a little bit of like green onion or chive. And maybe a little bit of garlic, and you just put a dollop of it in the middle, and then you take water and flour mixture and make glue with it, and you just fucking paint the outer edges of the two, and you fold it up there like that. And you make a little fucking flour, and you deep fry it. Well, they did it differently here. They had the cream cheese, they had the crab. They put a little bit of it tasted like turmeric in it.
It did,
turmeric. It was because it was slightly yellow, and there was some kind of Thai. And it was, and I think maybe a little bit of sugar.
Yeah, maybe.
I think it was a little bit of sugar and a little bit of turmeric.
And I think
that just changed it totally.
Well, and the thing about it too was that the filling.
Yeah.
It feels like they whipped it.
There might have been a little bit of egg in it.
That too.
To make it a little bit fluffy.
Because when I first, and they were piping hot, like they just made them, and it's like when it was like. It was pillowy.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, this is the best fucking crab rangoon I've ever had. It was so good.
And instead of dipping them in like Chinese mustard, which is just mustard powder and water, if you guys ever want to know what that is. Like, I want that Chinese hot mustard. You know that mustard that's hot? Yeah, give me some of that Gould's mustard. Put that on there. Put some horseradish on it and some chili. It's not quite the same. No, it's just powdered mustard.
Yeah, you can buy it at the grocery store.
With a few tablespoons of water in it. That's all it is. Same shit you get out of and that shit is hot. Mustard's hot if it's pure. But anyway, they didn't come with that. The Thai version of it, they came with kind of like a little sweet, kind of like a sweet duck sauce, kind of.
Yeah.
It was like something that you would have like on a Thai egg roll. Really good.
Man, it was really good. Yeah, and I think the second time we went, I think we had the what do you call it? The satay, the peanut with the peanut sauce.
Yeah,
like the chicken. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
That was good too. And I mean, you had a couple different kind of curries, like when you went there
red
too.
Curry,
but it's
I had red curry and yellow curry, masaman curry and red curry.
Yeah, I mean,
good with chicken.
Like I said, it's a tiny place, and you would never even notice it.
Yeah.
It's called Snay.
Snay
Thai.
S-N-A-Y.
I guess that's their name. I'm not really
sure.
You
can Google this shit. Snay Thai out. What that Longwood? No.
It's
Mount Dora? No.
Do they consider that Leesburg?
It might be.
It's either Leesburg or Eustis. I'm not sure where the city limit is.
You can probably put Snay Thai.
I think it's Eustis. I think
it would come up.
I thought it was Leesburg, but it's so tiny. But it's like the food is like really good. Somebody said, "Oh yeah, Erica said Thai food is good." Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Like Tom makes it sometimes.
Yeah.
Like he makes Thai curries like all the time.
The recipes aren't difficult.
And then Xana said, "We have a Thai restaurant here. They have a special tea. Did they have that there?"
Man, not only they have Thai tea, they had Thai coffee.
I had the Thai coffee, and it was so good.
Thai iced coffee. This shit was fucking really good.
Oh, it was so good. I was like, I gotta get that.
Yeah. Thai iced tea is really good, but that's a lot of calories in it. But I want to go back and get some of that Thai iced coffee like she had. He had his own spin on iced coffee.
God, it was so good.
And the cook is just a Thai dude in his 50s.
Yeah.
And his little wife runs front of house.
Yeah.
Like they show up in a gigantic fucking Ford fucking F-Series truck.
Yeah, we saw them because we got there like right when they opened.
Yeah.
And they came in and they were like, yeah, come on in.
A fucking monster truck. The black monster truck. They showed up.
Yeah, Erica said Thai tea I think has tamarind in it. Good stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
You had the tea. I had the coffee. I don't know what was in there, but holy shit, it was delicious.
Yeah, we gotta go back there.
I know.
We got so much shit I gotta do. I'm gonna put plugs and plug wires and get the fucking O2 sensors, and that'll alleviate a lot of problems. And I'm gonna get some refrigerant for the fucking for the AC, and which will buy us some time. We'll have some AC before I get that serviced. Because look, man, you do not want to drive a car here in Florida
without AC.
Without AC.
Even though it's February, it's still kind of warm still. I still run the AC even though it's February.
We were driving with the windows open with the AC conked out.
It was 66 degrees today.
It was still uncomfortable.
And it was still kind of humid.
Yeah.
So you still kind of needed AC.
Yeah.
Like not blasting, but you still kind of needed it on.
Florida chews up alternators, batteries, and fucking AC
and
compressors.
AC. And it also chews up your house AC.
Yeah.
You have to actually
up red paint.
That was another thing. The AC guy came today.
Yeah.
To do the yearly
thing. He said he thinks the AC will last. He thinks it will go out this year.
Oh God! Don't tell me that.
He says he thinks that the AC might go out this year. We'll see. He says there's a good chance of it, based on what he saw.
I mean, that's what even the house we had in Sanford. I feel like that AC went out like every other year.
Yeah.
Like we had to have somebody come out to look at. It's just Florida, like I said, and they make air conditioning units like specifically for that, but it can't handle it.
Yeah.
It just can't handle it. It's too hot.
It's too hot.
It's too hot. Yeah, Danny said Florida also turns old people's skin into leather. It does. Yeah. That's why I don't go out in it ever.
The old people move here. They're not here for long. 10 years, then they dead. They don't make a big impact. We're just stealing money from other states, really.
Pretty much,
Because they spend all their retirement here. And
because they're coming out and they're like, well, we're sick of shoveling snow.
And she talks about how redneck it is, but she's never did any time in Mississippi. It's not that... Mississippi's a lot worse. This is actually...
Oh, I can imagine.
You drive only a few minutes, and you're in Orlando.
Yeah.
We're on the outskirts of Orlando.
About 25 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Still, that's nothing.
Yeah, you can be in
drive 2 hours.
You can be in downtown Orlando.
I could
like
be in Laurel and drive 2 hours and not be anywhere.
And not be anywhere.
So it's totally different. But anyway, what's funny is that when we go over to like the Chinese fucking restaurant over here on the other side, we're in the fucking kind of the ratty end.
The kind of ratty ass mall.
Ratty ass
it's
mall.
Not terrible, but it's a little down at heel, that mall. It's not a dead mall because it's still most of the stores are open and there's people in there.
And when it's crowded in that all you can eat Chinese buffet, it's all old people. Almost always old people. And if you listen to them, New York accents, half of them are from New York. Yeah, so they look rednecky, but they're not. They're from New York. And they're living in these trailer parks.
Because that's what's up on the road to the mall. Well, there's like some nice kind of fancier neighborhood. Well, not super fancy, but like kind of, middle classy kind of neighborhoods. And then there's a whole bunch of like trailer parks
with RVs.
And RV parks.
RV parks.
Also. Like on the way to this mall.
Yeah. They're overweight and retired and on their way out. And they just live in those RVs and
they
trailers.
Love a bargain.
And they love a bargain. And they
love to spend $16 and just eat as much as they until they explode.
Yeah, and then they just socialize. They socialize. Yeah.
I tell you what, like that place on Sundays is a fucking madhouse.
Yeah.
Because on Sundays you get all the dinner food for the same price as you would normally get the lunch food. It's like the big special. So you got like crab legs and fried shrimp and all that kind of stuff, and that they normally wouldn't have at lunchtime. So we usually go there like on Saturday or whatever, but it's like the few times we've been there on Sunday, it's like fucking packed. Like from 11 o'clock when they open, there's like a bajillion people in there.
Yeah. That's the only restaurant that I've seen where the Chinese waitresses have tattoos. They had this fucking... There's 3 of them in there with tattoos. One of them's this little skinny butch lesbian chick. The other one was kind of like... I think she might be kind of bi. But she was fucking joking it up with us and shit. Every time she sees us, she fucking...
Yeah, because we're in there a lot,
yeah.
so.
Jenny was fucking decked out. She was in these fucking sexy-ass fucking bell-bottoms. Her booty was looking great. Fucking nice fucking titty display and shit. Fucking, she gets up and goes to the fucking buffet, and that Chinese waitress is just like checking your ass out as she was walking away. And fucking I looked at her and she goes, yeah.
She's like, yeah, well.
Yes, indeed.
Both
fucking,
appreciating that.
She had tattoos on her hands. Remember that?
It's like, look, I'm just going to get
that must
some
be some
mushrooms,
Taiwan.
okay.
I think they were from Taiwan.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a very old person thing to say, but it is like a really good deal. Because like I said, it's what, $15.99 a person?
And you can eat whatever you want. You can make an all-vegetarian dish if you want. You can eat a clean meal there, nothing but just damn boiled shrimp. They're real high protein, low calorie. And so, you know, a guy who's into fitness can do real well in a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah, because there's tons of stuff to pick from. You don't have to eat like all the high calorie like carby shit.
Yeah, I don't eat carbs.
I don't either.
I don't even touch
I don't eat
noodles,
and I love
rice.
noodles, but I don't eat any noodles or rice or anything.
I'm eating just meat and fresh vegetables.
Yeah,
and
meat
then
and vegetables
I'll eat a little
and
bit
fruit.
of ice cream. Yeah.
I couldn't even eat ice cream last time.
Yeah.
I was too full. And all I ate was I had one plate of just salad.
Yeah.
Like that was just spinach and tomatoes
Yeah.
and cucumbers with a little bit of dressing on it.
Yeah.
Italian dressing. And then I just got one hot plate that I think had a piece of fish, some sautéed mushrooms,
Yeah.
some boiled shrimp,
Yeah.
and a couple pieces of peanut chicken and one pork dumpling, and that was it. And then I couldn't eat anymore.
Everybody talking about fall.
Fall is my favorite season too, honestly. I like the whole I really do not like spring and summer at all. And I guess that's kind of a product of me growing up in Florida because we don't really have seasons as such. It's just always kind of like hot and slightly less hot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets cold. Like sometimes it does freeze here every now and then, but it's just that's like one night.
Yeah.
And then like it'll be really cold one night. Everybody's like freaking out. Everybody's like, oh my God, I got to cover up all my trees and like all the orange groves are going to freeze over and blah, blah, blah. But then like the following week, it'll be like 75 degrees. You know what I mean? It'll be totally normal. So there's not really all that much to worry about. You're not going to freeze your ass off down here. It's just like it's hot most of the time, which I don't love it. I don't love it. You'd think I'd be used to it because I was born here, but I'm still not.
Play the car again.
Why?
I'm gonna play the car again.
Why?
I want to see the car. I'm gonna show everybody the car. Is that how you do it?
No.
Why you do it?
Why? Quit. Stop.
I don't know how to do it.
Well, then quit clicking things.
I'm doing what I want to do.
Well, why do you? Well, don't mess it up.
Okay. You highlight the car and where's?
No, it's over here.
It's over here?
These
Which
are
one?
your scenes.
Which ones?
These are your scenes.
The top three?
No, I mean this is all scenes.
Okay.
These are all the intros for
Yeah.
all the different. There's the Sidetracks intro. There's the starting soon video. There's all that.
Where are the car ones?
Right there.
1,
Car
2, 3.
video 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
I named
you.
them
I
that.
got you. Go ahead.
Okay.
All right.
Can I go get a
go ahead,
drink
go
or something?
Okay. When you look at this car, it looks kind of hazy in this video. It was low resolution because it was not like the sun. Yeah. Oh, is that what it is? You had to blow it up? Oh, okay. And the sun was going down. But that thing looks fucking crisp, and the fucking paint was like 97%. Looks good. Looks really good. It's like an old man. It's an old man fucking. What do you call it? Like a sedan. It's where you put your suitcases and shit. No, it's a fun car. They don't make cars like that anymore. Unfortunately. They were just a fucking very solid, reliable transportation, big, you know. Very smooth running engine. Had a real big engine bay. Oh, and the undercarriage looks great. There isn't a lot of rust on it. I'm going to tighten this interior up over time. Maybe try to modernize it a little bit. Put some computers here in the middle. It has a good stereo in it, but it's tapes. Loud as fuck. Yeah. And it kind of smells like old people. but it's untouched, the interior. It looks like no one's ever sat in the back seat. And she was the second owner. She got it at like 60,000 miles, and then they sold it at 100,000 miles about 7-8 years later. So she didn't drive it much. And he was changing the oil. I found his records. He was changing oil and fluids regularly, but he wasn't doing upkeep like changing alternators, changing plugs. I could tell some stuff he neglected or didn't know about. He wasn't keeping up with sensors. When a sensor would go, he'd just continue to drive it when the car was running rough. He didn't care. He had another car, so this one was lower priority. For $3,000, you can't beat it. I end up putting another $2,000 into it, but still. That's capable of going 400,000 miles. It's a fucking badass car. It's all about endurance. Endurance and riding with style on a fucking cloud of pimpness.
A cloud of pimpness.
Just pimped out.
Oh my god, that's a new t-shirt. Tom's riding on a cloud of pimpness. Oh, shit. Let's see. Yeah, Iris said, I'm a summer person. The winter where I'm at is weird sometimes. Yeah, like I said, I can't... I guess because I grew up in Florida, I was always just kind of like, I hate summer so much. Because it's like, you go outside in the summer and you're just like... It's like walking into a sauna and you're just like, yeah, I'm going back inside in the air conditioning now for another several months. There was that. Yeah, Eric said, I lived in Florida for about 6 months and couldn't take the heat. Came back home to Ohio. I don't blame you. Like I said, I was born here. Not here, but I was born in Daytona Beach, which is about 50-ish miles from here. And you'd think I'd be used to it, but I'm not. I'm not. Some people love it. I'm just not. I'm not a hot weather person. So during the summer, I usually just kind of not hibernate, but try not to go outside. Try to go outside as little as possible. You know what I mean? And let's see. Yeah, we got to put some WD-40 together. Yeah. Well, like I said, we just got it yesterday. We had been driving past it for a long time because, like I said, it's literally across the street from our neighborhood. And so we kept seeing it until I was like, man, I'm really tempted by that car. He's like, I know it's older than yours, but he's like, I know exactly how to work on those. And it's like, it looks really nice. Like, it looks like it's been taken care of. So we kept stopping to look at it, but we never did like call the number or anything like that. But then finally we did and drove it around and we're like, oh, this is really nice. So, and the dude was really nice too. Like I said, I think he was happy that the car sold to a neighbor.
I understood the potential.
Because we even drove him through the neighborhood and said, hey, that's our house right there. So it's like, if you ever have a problem with my Ford, you can come and talk about it. And if we have a problem with your car, we're going to come here. We're going to come to your house.
When you're picking up a car with 100,000 miles on it, even though it's one of these old Crown Vic that can get a shit ton, if you're picking up something with 100,000 miles and you're only paying $4,000 for it, you know you're going to end up putting a couple grand into it. That something's not done. Because at 100,000, even at 99, if that bitch was just fucking top notch, he would be asking like 7 or 6, and he could get it from a guy who knew Crown Vics. Because he'd have all his records, and you could open up that engine bay, and you'd see all new accessories bolted to that engine, and that thing was just fucking running. Because they got guys that love that car. They're hot rodding them. It's popular with fucking popular in the Mexican American scene. They fucking love that car. Fucking, because you can get a lot for your money and they can work on it, and they just pimp them out, make them not. They don't really make them low riders, but they make them look like a fucking like a mobster car, you know, good stereo and fucking good interiors, and it's a car you can work on in your personal garage and build something over time, and it doesn't cost you much every month. You're just slowly working on it. I mean, that's the way the original fucking lowriders were like that. They were just building it little by little in their garage. Well, modern cars, the way they're built, they're not real conducive to that. The old Fords, though, they are. You can build something over time. That's going to be a Crown Vic, but there's a scene for Crown Vic and Grand Marquis and Lincoln Town Car. There's a scene for that. You see a lot of review videos of young guys in their early 20s driving them. They're just amazed because, you know, modern cars don't ride like that.
Well, and like I said, they're not complicated, but they were kind of built to last or built to take a lot of punishment.
Yeah, right. And there's plenty of replacement parts. The prices are low. Every mechanic here in the United States will work on one happily. They go, oh, that? Yeah, no problem. Move it in, because they're a joy to work on.
Well, that was kind of our main thing. Like I said, yeah, it looks like a grandpa car, but I was like, I don't really care that much about what a car looks like. I said the main thing that I want is that it's going to be reliable.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like pouring all this money into fixing it all the time. I don't, you know what I mean? I just want something that's going to do what I need it to do. I don't need it to like look super fancy. I don't need it to...
Those fuckers are tanks.
That's what I mean. I don't need it to have all these bells and whistles, because most of the like fancy shit on car, I wouldn't use it.
Yeah.
But, other than, I would like to have...
We're going to get Bluetooth on
like
that.
the updated, because I would like to have a backup camera and like the in-car like GPS.
Yeah, that's not that much.
And stuff like that. But really, that's all I would ever use.
Yeah, we're going to get it. That's just lower on the totem pole. First, I got to get those O2 sensors and that AC worked out. And try to iron out all the little bugs first. And then once I feel better about the car, we'll start doing things that are more, entertainment based.
The hilarious thing is that when we got it, because we're like, well, until we get the stereo installed, we're like, well, what are we going to do? And it turned out this car also has a tape deck, which my Ford Taurus, which was a 2004, also had. And like I said, if you go to AutoZone for $10-15, you buy this little tape and you stick it in the tape deck, and it has like a little thing that'll attach to your cell phone, and you can play like Spotify through it, which is what we've been doing. So I was like, oh well, awesome, we can just do the same thing in this car until we get it updated.
And that's a good tape player. It's fucking got an awesome...
The speakers are nice.
It's got good speakers. It's got a loud amp.
We were blaring some fucking Duran on there.
Yeah.
Some Diform.
It's just that, tape. What are you going to do with a tape,
Right.
So it's got to go. But it was a really good quality tape player.
But I said, but that's good because I still had that thing from the old car, and I was like, well, and I run it through my cell phone so I can play Spotify, because I have Spotify.
But they got a lot of interior pimp packages for it, where you can get rid of your analog gauges and go to all digital clusters, aftermarket stuff. There's all kinds of cool shit for that car. I just don't know. It's not time for that.
Yeah, that's kind of, like I said, as long as we have music in there, for now, that's fine. Right. That's kind of like down the road after we get all the shit like sorted out.
Yeah, and that video doesn't really come across because the quality of the video that we took isn't very good. I'll get you some other, maybe we'll do another one later. When you see that car in person in broad daylight, man, it's impressive. The color and
it's a really nice looking car.
Wow. Yeah.
And I was impressed that it was like older, because like I said,
it looks new.
My Taurus was 5 years newer than that and looked like absolute ass.
Yeah.
As much I love that car. It was a really reliable car.
Yeah.
But it looked bad. Like the paint was baked off.
Yeah.
There was fucking mold on it and shit like that. It was it would just looked really terrible. And Tom was just like, I'm embarrassed to like drive this around. He would always park it like in the back. Like whenever we went to a restaurant or something, he would park it like in the back. It's like, I don't want anybody to see us getting in or out of this. Yeah. So it was just kind of, that's why we needed another one. So he wanted something. Sorry, I saw Fernandez says, because I thought you'd want to address this.
Yeah.
Haven't been on here in several years.
Yeah.
Tom looks swole as fuck. Yes, he does.
Thank you. Yeah.
Jenny, your voice has changed. Yeah. What happened?
Well, Jen's in training, and she's
hormones, baby.
She's doing a bunch of hormones. She looks fucking great. You see her in person. So she's got kind of a rougher voice now. Yeah.
It's like and I kind of feel like I was gonna say, well, this is probably TMI, but it's like there's no such thing on this show. Okay. So I'm older. I'm 51. I went through menopause. How long ago was it? A year or two ago?
A couple years, yeah.
And so I started doing hormone replacement.
Yeah.
Basically. So Tom and I we're not on the same shit.
Yeah, we're on different shit.
We're on different shit. But one of the things you gave me, was it Winstrol?
For a while, I was giving you a Winstrol.
He gave me Winstrol for a while.
Yeah.
And
you sound real hoarse.
And yeah, it deepened my voice significantly.
Yeah.
And it's actually a little bit better than it was.
Yeah.
I didn't really notice it because it happened kind of slowly. But then one of our friends said to me, hey, I was watching one of your old videos the other day, and like your voice was a lot different. And I went back and listened to it, and I was like, holy shit. Like, I didn't realize.
Sound like a little kid, yeah.
And so it's just kind of like, now it doesn't bother me as much. But a lot of people did comment on it. And I did kind of want to,
Yeah.
I think everybody that's here like regularly knows, but...
Yeah.
But that's why it's not,
Yeah, when you start
it's just hormone replacement.
Yeah, when you start bumping up a female's hormones and shit, okay, and what you're doing post menopause is very different from what you would do to say like a 20-year-old girl.
And that was really the only
That's very different,
quote unquote negative side. And I don't even really think of it as negative, but
you're gonna sound tougher. And
that
rougher.
was the only, and it's better now than it was, because I think at first when I was on Winstraw, it was like it was like more like almost rough, horse. Like horse sounding.
Yeah.
But now it's just kind of deeper.
Because what it had done was it had kind of thickened her vocal cords.
Right.
But it's not permanent as long as you don't go too far with it. There are some female bodybuilders that have been on shit for so long, such high levels of it, that even if they came off, those vocal cords are going to be pretty fucking thick.
Yeah.
All right? She'll lose a lot of it, but not all of it. Jen really, her voice is getting a lot better than what it was.
Yeah.
But she's on shit too. Okay. It's just that she's on different stuff.
What am I on now? I don't even remember.
You're on Primo.
You started me on new. Well, I did that before.
Yeah. You've done Primo, but just not in very good quantity, not in large quantities.
Yeah.
Really, the one we tried everything. I tried by the book. You do with women. You want to start off with some of the orals like Anavar. Anavar did nothing for it.
It did absolutely fuck all. Nothing.
People are not machines. And when you read medical data and journals, and papers,
it's an average.
It's averages, and that.
And a lot of people are not average.
And there's sometimes economics and politics involved. Okay, because you have drug companies trying to sell drugs that they have patents on. And they're trying to get rid of drugs that they don't have patents on anymore. On what we take, the patents have all been run up since the fucking 70s. From the 60s, the patents have run out. So they're not very profitable. They have a lot of fucking medical uses, especially in older people. You can do wonders with an older person with these things. But if that's the official medical system in the United States wants nothing to do with that, because they don't own those. All right. And also another thing is that they make money not off of selling treatments for your ailments, not for cures really. It's and I have friends who are doctors. I worked for Dr. Matt. Well, shit, I talk about that. And fucking and fucking Gramthars knows Steve. He's a fucking genetic scientist. We grew up with him. There's a lot of fucking scam involved with the medical industry. It's an industry.
There's a lot of scam involved.
Just like the defense industry. I'm ex-military. There's so much scam in the American defense industry. It's not even funny. Anyway, as when men hit androgenopause, which is male menopause, and women hit their menopause, your body's natural production of androgens and steroid and hormones, it just can taper. It tapers off rapidly. Okay, and usually what ends up it's part of the dying process. You're going to start putting on weight because the mitochondria inside your cells are not really banging on all cylinders. There's no androgenic signaling, the signaling that you need to tell the body to do its normal processes. If the hormones that you used to run on aren't there anymore, you got to replace them with something. It's called hormone replacement therapy. Real rich people know about it because they don't go to the fucking normal doctors. They have boutique concierge fucking medical treatment on their own fucking compounds. Look at Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos is an old guy. He's older than me. He looks fucking great. He's also jacked to the fucking gills. He's on stuff. He's on testosterone and he's on anabolic steroids. But he's doing the right amounts and the right combinations of things. And his little 50-year-old girlfriend, hot as shit. You know what I mean? She's a fitness trainer and she's on stuff too. If you want to look like an actor or an actress or somebody off the Marvel universe, none of that shit's natural. Anybody who looks striking after the age of 40 is not natural. You're supposed to look like shit after 40. That's why the average person does. I can show you women that are 50.
my age, 55, that just look fantastic. I'm going to show you. Once you answer some shit, Jen.
Yeah, Eric says, Jenny, you do not look 51. Thank you very much. I am, though.
Yeah.
Feels like it some days. Not usually, though. I still feel like a young person. Fernandez says, you guys look freaking great. I'm glad to be back. Well, we're glad to have you back. Fernandez also says, oh, and we're gonna go down a rabbit hole with this one.
Yeah.
I heard Tren makes you super aggressive.
Yes, it is.
Gives you insomnia and can push you into being gayish.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. I could tell.
So, like, yeah, like you guys, everybody that's like a regular here knows, but Tom did do Tren for a little while.
Almost 6 months. Oh,
5 months you were on that shit.
Man,
and
it turned me into fucking evil. An evil leather daddy.
It was, and we've talked about that many times. It's, don't do Tren, kids.
No, don't fuck with Tren.
Like I said, I'm not bothered about, like, all of the other kind of, steroids or anything like that, but Tren, please do not do it.
Yeah.
Please do not do it.
She is...
You will end up in prison.
She is 55. Okay. She's a fitness instructor, but that's also just not natural. She's on gear. It's
Well, yeah, I mean, normally a 55-year-old
woman doesn't look like
would
that.
not look like that.
Yeah.
You really have to.
And she's from Florida.
And
here.
even just, like, exercising and eating right is not going to do that.
No, you have to exercise and eat and have your hormonal profile has to be right. And she's on Primo, probably.
Dana said Tom tried to rape me.
But
He probably did. It was a crazy time.
She's a fitness instructor, and
we warn everybody about that shit. We went through it.
And her and her husband kind of are content creators. But you can look at her. It's called Lala Fit Over 50. She's 51. Her name is...
same age as me.
Yeah, no, excuse me, 55.
Oh, okay, so she's older than me.
She's my age.
She's older than
55. Her name is Lopez. What's her name? Fucking Lopez. I forgot her first name. Her last name is Lopez.
Yeah, so it is possible, but like I said, usually, unless you hit the genetic lottery, which most people didn't, let's be honest, me included, you can't look like that. Like I said, even good diet and exercise isn't going to make you look like that at 55.
No.
There's no way.
And I'll show you guys what 24 female on good shit looks like.
Oracle's here. Hey, Oracle. Just popping in. Yeah, I mean, we might tell some more trend stories just for the benefit of Fernandez, who has not been here in a long time. But most of the regulars here have probably heard most of the stuff about that whole time period.
She's 24 and on a lot of stuff. But she's also a millionaire. She lives here in Florida, and she's a fitness instructor.
Oh, yeah, that girl. I've seen her.
Yeah, and that's not natural. I know you people say, well, if you work out, you look... Yeah, you got to work out like a motherfucker. And you got to heal up and gain weight and shit. You got to work out fucking 2 or 3 times a week. And you got to eat a lot of fucking food. But it's only going to happen if you have, say, the hormonal support of things like primobolan. Because you can't eat all that much and then not gain any fat. That girl's maybe 7 or 8% body fat. That's all meat. That's not fat. That booty's meat. That's booty meat. Her name's Carrie June. And her husband's a millionaire too. Look at her abs.
Fernandez says, so does Trend give everyone insomnia or just some people?
No, just some people. It didn't
well, the thing about it is I don't think any drug or anything ever affects everyone the same way.
Yeah.
What happened, and like I said, some of the regulars here know, but because you haven't been around in a while, Tom did Tren, when was that?
Oh, I don't know.
A year ago? Year and a half ago?
5.
18 months ago?
I was
something
on it for
like
about
that.
5. The first 3 months I was okay.
Yeah, and well, okay, so here's the thing too, is that I didn't really, because he's on different shit all the time, and he's trying out different stuff. He gives me stuff, I don't even know what it is half the time. I'm just like, whatever. So he was on it, and I didn't know what he was on, or I didn't know what the side effects of it were. So I didn't notice anything weird at first. But then, like, after a few months, I'm like, wow, he's really starting to act like a crazy person. Like, what the fuck is going on? Like, I didn't really know anything about that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, just get into that. Get into that.
What it's doing is that it's fucking, your testosterone levels are becoming pretty high. Your estrogen levels are getting stripped out of your body. And estrogen is something that is neuroprotective. It kind of protects your brain from the other things, the other hormones that are in your body, like testosterone. Instead of having what do you call it? The proper ratio of testosterone and estrogen, you start getting a high level of progesterone. And men don't have high levels of progesterone, not straight men. It's been reported that some gay men have high levels of progesterone. Now, I don't know if they're like that all the time, but, you know, hormones are a key factor in behavior.
Well, and I think that's kind of why, because not all of birth control pills, but some birth control pills are largely progesterone. Yeah. So I think that's kind of why some women report, like, oh my God, I was acting like a crazy person, like, on birth control pills, which I actually did later. Like, I took birth control pills from 19 until 35, and I didn't have any side effects. And then I went off them for a few years. And then I went back on them, and I don't know if it was the same ones or not. I think it was different ones. And those ones kind of made me like a crazy person, and also made me like gain a bunch of weight, which I hadn't on the other ones.
Now, if you follow like comic books and you know, animated DC and Marvel animated features and shit like that, you're gonna find out that and even some of the old literature, you know, fucking, you're gonna find out that what they're talking about a lot of times is steroids. All right, a good example would be like what's his name, Osborn. All right, the guy who became the Green Goblin. He's working for this company that he owned, Oztech or some shit like that, and he's building a suit and a fucking hover glider and this combat performance drug that he's making. And what it does is he takes it and he just kind of becomes evil, and he splits into two halves of a good and an evil that kind of attack each other. And you just start to kind of degenerate into this fucking extremely strong, real fast, kind of animalistic, something out of damn Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And that's what eventually happened to me. You're okay for about 3 months. Month 4 started.
You're not really supposed to be on it for that long.
Yeah. Month 4 started rolling around, and I'm going, there's no way I'm coming off of this, man. I feel fucking great.
Because he felt fantastic.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with me. Well.
Which... I mean, like I said, from my point of view, I didn't really know all of this until after all of it. Because I didn't know what he was on. I didn't know what the side effects of it were or anything like that. All I knew was that suddenly you were just going out in public and getting like super ragey, and you're just like, I'm gonna tear that dude's head off, and I'm just like, let's not let's calm down. And you would come in and be like,
that's not exactly what was happening.
Well, no, it was just, but it was kind of like that kind of thing.
It was, you can't, anytime I ever attacked anybody, and I did attack somebody, they deserved it. One dude grabbed Jen's ass, I fucking grabbed him by the throat, but it was a 6-footer. And he did.
Yeah, I mean, he did have that coming.
He did all he could to get away from me, and I
would have grabbed him too if I hadn't been startled, because he just did it while my back was turned.
Andother one was some dude that kind of came up and started hassling her and
Sophie
Sophie when they were on the dance floor, and I just fucking grabbed him by the shoulder and moved him back from her, and then turned around and went to go lean up against the wall, and I saw him fucking follow me, and I turned around and just wailed on him, and I was just wailing on him, and it fucking took the whole club to kind of get me off of him.
And then he
grabbed her.
Then he tackled me.
Yeah, but
and
then
threw
they
me
broke
on the
that
ground.
up.
And then I was pushing my thumbs in his eyeballs.
Yeah.
They had to carry him out.
So, I've done a lot of drugs. Okay. And
I've done a lot of drugs.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
done LSD.
I know you have.
All kinds of fucking.
I know you I have not done nearly
One
as
of
many
the
drugs
weirdest
as you
ones
have.
was Tren. Because Tren is not really a drug; it's a hormone, and it's kind of like the LSD of hormones. It felt like I was down climbing Mount Everest. You're suffering. You get split down the middle. You don't like it, but you love it at the same time.
Yeah, it's
kind of
very
like
weird.
Pain pressure. It could be like a pain pleasure principle thing, where you feel like a god, but you're like a very insecure god.
Yeah, because you would come in and to be like, well, I am a god. I'm better. I'm better than everybody. I'm just like,
bro. You're like the Tasmanian devil.
Settle down.
You actually believe that you can fight a steel dump truck and win.
Yeah.
And the weird thing is that you wouldn't win against a dump truck.
Well, obviously.
But you do a lot of damage to that dump truck. It's not an illusion. You're very strong, very fast, and very evil. Very evil. But it takes time. It takes time for that to pile on you. You lose your sense of you. Now, when you're talking about like the gay aspect, what ends up happening is that
this was very bizarre.
Violence and sex start to merge into the same thing.
Which is not great.
So you become kind of like a serial killer in a way. But it's not... With me, I've never heard of it ever being pointed towards women. It's always pointed towards men. You hate men that you don't know. Especially if you see them as some kind of an enemy. And not only do you want to kill them, you want to maybe rape them and eat them. That's how intense it is.
But the weird thing about it, like I said, and I didn't really know the full extent of this until afterward because I didn't know all of this was going on. But you said because I was scared of you. I didn't know what was going on, and I was just kind of like, holy crap, he's acting like a crazy person, and I didn't really know what to do. But then, you said later that you got real, toward women, and particularly toward me, you got, kind of simpy, as you said.
Simpy,
and you kept worrying that I was cheating on you.
Yeah, and then, even though I knew it wasn't possible.
Even though I knew that it's like, dude, I don't go anywhere. I'm in my office.
It's just, I knew it was...
all day, every day.
The thing is, I
don't go anyplace.
I had already done my research on it. And they said that's one of the common things, is that you think your girlfriend's cheating on you.
Even if I was going somewhere, I wouldn't do that because I just don't do that.
I started thinking that your mind starts telling you, you know, she's cheating on you, but you don't have any evidence, and you go, it can't be. We're together all the time. What are you
and he kept asking, and it's like I said, I didn't find out until later because he asked me a couple times, and I was like, no, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
How would I do that?
Yeah.
I was like, even if I wanted to, I wouldn't. But it was like, even if I... the logistics of it don't work. I'm like, I'm sitting here.
Well, when I
sitting here.
When I asked her, I already fucking said, I said, look, I know it's not true. You know what I mean? I know you're not cheating on me, but are you cheating on me?
No.
Remember that? Because I knew it wasn't true. But there's just your hormones.
Yeah, and it was it was a whole thing. We had whole conversations about this. I was just
and you're gonna know. I've been here the whole time. I was like, it's not possible, is it?
And like I said, even if I got in the car and went someplace, I would never do that anyway because I don't do that.
Yeah, I knew. I wasn't mad at her.
Yeah,
I wasn't mad at her. I was just. I knew I was hallucinating it.
And he was talking to our friend Sophie too. She's in the chat sometimes.
Yeah.
And he would sometimes tell her, because like I said, I didn't know a lot of what was going on, but he would sometimes ask her, I think she's cheating on me. She's like,
no, I didn't say that.
Bro, no, she's not.
Yeah. No, I asked her if she was.
Right.
I asked her, And I said, I know I'm just imagining. She goes, yeah, you're imagining it.
Yeah.
Because she was
kind of please go talk to her.
Yeah.
Sophie would say.
Yeah. Well, see, what it was is that you get insecure. And I was trying to protect her from my side effects.
And I didn't know.
So I'd have all these weird side effects, and I'd call Sophie. She knew everything that I was going through.
Right.
That I was losing my fucking mind. It was wearing her out.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to, unload on her.
It was like...
But like I said, it's just... And I kind of got mad about it afterward because, I didn't know any of this until afterward.
Well, you get split down the middle, so you start to become very...
Because he didn't want to tell me.
Yeah, I got real paranoid.
He didn't want to tell me.
I got real paranoid. I thought that talking about these weird side effects was like showing weakness. It'll scare her.
No.
Something like that. So
it would have helped a lot actually because I had no idea what was going on with
you. Your thinking isn't straight on it.
Yeah,
after about 3
I know that
months.
now. I know that now.
Yeah,
but
can't think
I get it. And at the time, after you told me that, I was kind of mad because I was like, why didn't you tell me any of this? I would have understood.
Yeah.
Like, I
Okay.
wouldn't have just been freaking out about it.
Here's some things that weird about Trent. You don't make any decisions, especially if it's anything about fighting or combat. You don't make any decisions. Trent makes all those decisions for you. I saw that dude grab Jen's ass. A normal guy's like, oh shit, should I go to security? Or maybe that guy's too big, or maybe he'll beat my ass, or what do I do? Should I?
He was a big dude,
I gotta
I
get
think.
even. I gotta.
I didn't
up.
see him
Let me
because
finish.
yeah.
So a guy's mostly
okay.
guy's mostly going through a fucking process of like, maybe I should buck myself up and then go take care of this. There's none of that on Trent. I saw that. I was instantly already attacking him. I didn't make the decision. I'm just.
Well, I remember.
Yeah, just instant. It's like.
What happened was
You're
that
very fast.
because I was just
very
dancing,
strong.
minding my own business. All of a sudden, some random ass person is touching me without my authorization,
Yeah.
and it like kind of surprised me. And I looked because you were just right there at the bar, and I looked at you like, "What the fuck?" You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it happened really quick,
Yeah.
and I was just like, "What the fuck was that about?" So you saw him. I didn't even see him.
I
Like,
saw
'cause
him
he
walk
came up
towards you,
behind
he
me.
walked by you and he fucking dragged his hand
And I
across
was
your
like,
ass. And the next thing
"Fucking
you know,
seriously?"
you turned and looked at me, and
I was like,
I was already headed towards
And
him.
he
I was
went
on.
over there.
I was on him. And
So that dude kind of had it coming.
and he had 5 guys with him,
That dude had it
and
coming.
they wouldn't help him because they were
Good.
scared. Because
Good.
it's not like a thing where normally when guys are
Don't
gonna
touch
fight,
random girls' asses. Okay?
Normally, when
That's the
guys are
lesson
going to
there.
fight, there's this whole fucking monkey dance ritual of threats. And
Oh, I know.
There's none of that when you're on Trent. It's instant attack. It's fucking 125%. You're already a guy who's kind of jacked, and you're much stronger than a jacked dude because you're under the fucking mind-bending effects of a fucking hyper masculinity. Your testosterone count is probably like 8 times that of a teenager. You're probably well within the testosterone ranges of, say, like a chimp.
Yeah,
Or
you
maybe
did seem very chimp-like.
like a chimp, maybe, or a gorilla.
Not
You're-
quite that
you're
bad.
like a
I mean,
primate.
I didn't think you were gonna tear my face off, but
No, more like a chimp. You don't think. It's just a reaction, and it's all emotion. And I never was. I've been in fights before. I'm ex-military. Fucking been in a lot of fists. I've never been that fast and that strong, where you can just reach, grab a man's throat, and crush his throat, and your fingers can touch it. You can feel his fucking windpipe in his Adam's apples in your fucking hands, and your fingers are touching. I mean, he felt like jelly. And I just had and I started pulling. I was trying to pull it out, which would have ruptured his fucking trachea, and the internal bleeding probably would have killed him if I kept doing that. So he just was trying to get away. He couldn't even swing.
well, I will say that I hope that dude learned a valuable lesson that
Yeah.
day. Don't grab random girls' asses.
Yeah, I was just on it. Fucking, and then you were very and then afterwards you're
Because, like I said, I was just surprised. I was dancing, minding my own business, and all of a sudden, this fucking random ass motherfucker who I didn't even see
yeah.
is like touching my ass, and I'm just like, "Why are you touching my ass right now?" Like, I looked at Tom, like, "What the fuck?" And then,
Yeah.
like, all of a sudden, yeah.
Yeah,
And then that happened.
And there was no retaliation. There were 5 guys with him. There was 0 retaliation. They just walked off, and they were normal to large.
So they weren't as
guys.
stupid as I would have.
No.
I mean, they were probably still
No.
stupid,
Well, I
but
was
not
also
as.
threatening because if I see him again, I'm going to kill him. Is what I said. I'm going to kill him, and I was furious, and I guess they could just.
I was also pretty mad.
I was probably just radiating,
not as mad as him, but
radiating pure hatred, and I was
Yeah.
like sexually aroused by it. There's no fear or anything. You love it.
that was another thing.
You love it. Yeah.
Like, he got like kind of hot about
Yeah.
wanting to like fuck dudes up.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm
rip
gonna
this dude
I'm
apart.
gonna I'm gonna
fuck
rape
him.
that dude.
Yeah. I'm gonna fuck him.
And I was just like, oh my god, we need to settle down. Now.
Hatred and
We need to settle
violence
down.
and sex are all just merging into one thing. So some of the times, like when we're doing the shows, some of this weird shit that these offenders have done, it makes me wonder, man. Fucking, we need to go in there and fucking look at his fucking testosterone and see if those molecules look right. Is he actually producing testosterone, or is he making something that's closer to trend? Because all steroids are just modified testosterone. It's very similar. The receptors can't really tell the difference, basically.
So it could be that some dudes are mutants and just produce mutant versions of.
I mean, that's not that out there.
Maybe they're under a lot of stress. They got some problems with them. They're
Not
really
excusing it.
And then
But-
they're producing some kind of sex hormones that are fucking.
But the
more
way
like-
you acted
more like
on that
trend.
shit,
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, after I knew what it was,
Yeah.
I was just kind of like, maybe this is what serial killers are
Yeah,
experiencing.
it's like that.
Because that's kind of what you were acting like. Not toward me.
Yeah. Now here's the weird. Yeah, not yeah.
I mean, I didn't know that at the time.
No, it was
but-
other dudes.
But yeah, you were
Other
acting
dudes.
like that toward like other dudes.
It's
Like
because
you just wanted to rip everyone's
you're
head off.
hyper masculine. Masculinity is about breeding. So you're protecting the nest and protecting your female against fucking invading males. And all males are invaders. And you're fucking cranked and fucking you feel like a lot stronger and more evil and better than them, so therefore they're just food to you.
Yeah, and
You
you
know what I
did
mean?
like some of the
Yeah.
shit you said.
Yeah.
Like came across like
So
that.
you're
to me.
like a Maori now. Now you're on
you were
these
just
islands.
justifying. Oh, I
Yeah.
can kill anybody who I
Now
want.
you're
They're
gonna
inferior.
eat your enemies.
And I was just kind of
'cause
like,
they're just food. Yeah.
it was a little scary.
Yeah, your ego goes fucking through the roof.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah.
And you're kind of, no offense, but you're kind of
Yeah.
egotistical.
But what's weird is
Anyway,
that your ego
like,
goes
even
through
in
the
your
roof,
normal
but then you
state.
become insanely insecure.
Yeah, it was like a weird
It's
combo.
a weird dichotomy.
Because, like I said, it's a weird combo because, you know, he would be like that one minute, but then
Yeah.
like the next minute, you
I've
know,
been feeling sorry for myself. And,
yeah, he'd be like, oh my god, this and that and the other.
You would
And
look
he'd
at
be,
you like, man, I'm not measuring up. Man, I'm not as good as I could
and
be.
he'd be like looking back at shit that
fucking
happened in his
yeah.
past, and he's
Oh,
just
man,
like,
I'm a loser.
oh, that was so
Why did I
fucked
do
up.
that?
Why did I do that?
Why did I
Like,
do that? Why did I
yeah,
say
it was
that?
like that.
Yeah,
It was
constant.
crazy.
See, it's
It was a
kind of
roller coaster.
Yeah,
It was a
you
roller
become
coaster,
like a
that's for
werewolf on it. I felt like a werewolf. I started to like adopt werewolf imagery.
That's
I
why-
wear
that's why-
werewolf stuff.
That's why
Viking, because I passed my werewolf test. I
he got
survived
all
it.
that like after.
After I was like, okay, I was a werewolf, and,
Right.
and I survived it.
Yeah.
And I didn't go
I
to
get it.
prison, and I
I get
didn't
it.
kill anybody.
Thank
you know,
fuck,
fucking-
man.
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have done
Yeah.
if something bad. Because I thought about it. I was like,
Yeah.
man, what happens if he like kills a dude and like he
Yeah.
goes to prison?
And
And
here's the thing.
what am I gonna do?
Tren is not some kind of a fucking exotic drug. It's not. It's a different ester of 19-nortestosterone. 19-nortestosterone is just a testosterone that's synthetically produced. It's got a fucking chain of fucking proteins around it to make it slower or faster to break down. And there's like 3 or 4 major ones. Major one is durabolin, also known as NPP or nandrolone phenylpropionate. Very common. I love that one. Decadurabolin, which is the longer ester version of it. One of the most common ones of
I took
in
that,
all
didn't I?
bodybuilding. Jenny respond to decadurabolin.
That was the first thing that I actually
That-
that actually had a good.
It immediately fucking.
I lost a bunch of weight on it.
She
I
picked
started
up
building
muscle.
muscles out
She fucking felt
on
better.
my legs and stuff. Yeah.
She fucking started to look great.
He gave me a bunch of
didn't
stuff
do
and it
anything.
didn't do anything. But that was the first thing that
She
did
reacts
something.
to 19-nortestosterones.
Yeah.
I want to try her on NPP, which is a shorter ester version of it, which might
We'll
be.
see how it goes.
And what's funny is
Like
that
I said, what are you doing now? Primo bowling, right?
no, you're on Primo,
Yeah.
which is very good safety parameters.
And I'm not really sure what the dosage
It's,
is.
it's 200 milligrams
Okay.
a week, and that's, like I said, you're not a fucking fantastic responder, but you are a responder.
I will respond, but it takes a lot.
It takes a lot for her.
And I've told you before, anything, like any drug that's ever been given to me, anything, most drugs that have been given me don't do jack shit.
Yeah. Now, don't get it in your mind that you can take these steroids and get results. You got to take the steroids. You got to work out. You got to work out at least 1 heavy session a week if you're a female. 2 is better.
Yeah.
And then you have to eat large amounts of protein, and you have to have a decent diet, and you have to get enough sleep, and you'll see results pretty quick. You can't, if you're young, you can't live on that shit because it disrupts your normal endocrine system. When you get older like us, your normal endocrine system is shit. Your endocrine system really isn't there. So there's nothing to conflict with. That's why it's a lot safer when you're older. You would think that, man, he's old, it'd be too dangerous to take that. No, it's safer for you as an older person because you don't have a super strong, healthy endocrine system trying to get a hormonal balance. You don't produce hormones. You're old.
Yeah.
So they're lost. They're gone. You got to replace them with something, so you just inject them. And the body goes, oh, okay, yeah, I can use this. This will signal. And it's that simple.
Yeah, it's fine.
And educated doctors know about this.
Like I said, I have not had any adverse side effects other than my voice deepening.
And that's not that adverse.
And like I said, I don't really
temporary.
consider that. Honestly, that's the only thing that I've noticed.
But here's the thing. It makes sense.
Oh, well, I did notice one other thing, but I don't want to say it. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, there's sexual side effects.
I don't want to say what it is.
They're good, though.
I don't consider that an adverse side effect.
No, that's a bonus. What ends up happening? Oh, shit, what was I going after?
I don't know. I got to pee, though.
Okay.
I got to pee, and I'm going to get another drink.
Yeah. I forgot what I was talking about.
Join the club.
I am not a doctor. I cannot give advice, so that's my disclaimer. All right. This is just our experience with this. But there's a lot of good information out there. Older people and younger people are in two different situations hormonally. When you're older, things are a lot more forgiving because you do not have the endocrine system of a young person that's going to try to counteract anything you inject. When you're young and you inject something like a bunch of testosterone, there's going to be some kind of a reaction from a healthy system to try to. One of the main reaction is to try to produce a bunch of estrogen. That way you have a fucking. It's trying to achieve a balance between estrogen and testosterone that it would normally have. So it starts producing a bunch of estrogen. That's not good if you're a man because you could actually start getting gynecomastia, which is building breasts. I can inject a shit ton of test or anabolic steroids and not get an estrogenic reaction. My body's just like, nah, I'm not going to fight it. I'm just going to roll with it. So I really don't take any fucking estrogen blockers. I can take a gram of shit a week and haven't noticed anything. I just don't inject it all at once. I kind of break it up. But what it does to an older person is, for guys, it's kind of like the fountain of youth. You feel a lot better instantly. I was able to sleep real well, diet and exercise, immediate response. Oh, that's what I was talking about. You can't just take this shit and just get results. You have to fucking work out. And some people are not healthy enough to start this. Like, they might be a little bit too overweight. So they start injecting shit in them that fucking makes them feel real good. And then they start working real hard in the gym, but they're not in good enough shape to work real hard in the gym, and they get a heart attack, something like that. So you want to start slow and get weight off of you before you start real aggressive workouts. But your body's going to respond. See, look at this. This is not the normal build for a 51-year-old woman. You know what I mean? She's just showing the camera. See? Yeah, this is like almost that of a 30-year-old, really.
Well, I don't know if I go that far.
No, they got women in their 30s built just like it. Got women in their 20s built just like it. But there are some other things that, age kind of shows, but she's getting a little shoulders and everything.
Well, I don't. It's funny because I do know other people that are my age. Mm-hmm. And I've worked with other people that were my age. And they don't really look the same.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Okay, so
Xanada said Jenny's a strong Germanic woman. She needs a strong dose.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've been like this my whole life. Whether it's illness or whether it's drugs, neither thing makes much of an impact.
No. You can give her medicine and it doesn't make a difference.
It doesn't do shit. And if I get ill and it's just kind of like, meh.
Yeah. So all of
my whole entire life I've been like that.
All of the anabolic steroids that were recommended for females, especially beginners, had damn near zero effect on her. None.
Yeah, they didn't do anything.
No, so I said, fuck it. I'm going to give her Deca. That's a man steroid. And
then that finally did something.
And that was like, boom, instant.
Finally.
Yeah. And
I lost a bunch of weight. Like, my muscles and my thighs and my legs and stuff started, like, tightening up.
And she's working out, and it's fucking an instant reaction. And I wasn't giving her a light dose. I would think I gave you 200 milligrams. I think a couple times.
And like I said, I didn't really have any adverse effects. Like my voice deepened, but that was the other shit.
That was
Winstrol that did that.
No, yeah, that shit. Your voice softened actually on Deca.
And like I said, it doesn't bother me that much. I didn't really notice it until somebody pointed it out to me, honestly.
I was getting to another point. If you read literature, even bodybuilding literature, that's not what it describes when it comes to women. You give them Deca and this will happen. No. A lot of women can't take it. They'll retain a bunch of weight. They'll retain a bunch of water. They'll have acne. They'll have all kinds of weird... But really, I think a lot of it has to do with how old they are. A young woman probably would have a harder time taking it.
Yeah, probably.
But an older woman has no problem with it.
I didn't really notice.
Then I was reading the fine print, and they said, well, they recommend decadurabolin for postmenopausal women, but they were talking like 25 milligrams a week to get rid of osteoporosis and to increase physicality. But they're talking about women that aren't working out, though.
Bros, nobody's breaking these bones. These bones are like horse bones.
They're like horse bones.
I have never broken a bone in my entire life.
Right.
Ever.
Now, how long did I keep her on that? Months. Which, see, I don't really... A lot of guys who are gym bros who are listening, we're taught about a cycle theory, where you're doing a cycle for fucking 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, and then you come off. But then they go right on something else. So they come off of one thing and then they cycle on to another. So that's the same as being on a fucking shit, grabbing fucking steroids fucking all year. You might as well just stay on the shit.
Just stay on it.
But they do what they're doing is they're trading up because you can build up a resistance or a tolerance.
Yeah.
To one. And you don't feel it as much anymore. So you you take another one. Because guys think, well, I feel it, so it's doing something. Not always. I felt treading like a motherfucker, and I didn't really gain much from it physically.
And I told you, it's like, don't you ever fucking
It didn't
do that
physically
shit.
change me that much. It wasn't
I mean,
worth it.
you can. I'm not stopping you from doing anything, but I'm just like, if you do, I'm going to go move into a hotel.
Yeah, I would never take it again. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. The only advantage Trent has is that it's cheap. Now, this is what happened with Trent. I was not talking about 19-nortestosterones. They had Durabolin. Came out like in the 60s. Then an improved version was Decadurabolin. And then they came out with Trenbolone. But Trenbolone got pulled because they said it was unfit for human use. They said,
well, I agree with that.
They said it had too many mental side effects. But the thing is that the differences between these two, it's all the same. It's 19-nortestosterone. It's just that Trenbolone was a different ester of it. It hit harder.
Yeah.
And it caused ramifications of, I guess, stripping out all the estrogen out of your brain. And fucking causing you to fucking do weird mental side effects and fucking producing a lot of progesterone and shit.
Yeah,
it makes it weird.
You don't really want that.
Right.
I experienced it. You don't really want that.
So what they did was they moved Trenbolone to veterinarian use only. And they used it for cattle.
Yeah.
And when they would pack up cattle on trains to send them to slaughter, they'd give them a bunch of Tren so they wouldn't lose any weight. And they used Tren because they were mass-producing Tren to veterinary standards, which you can make a lot of it quickly, cheaply, because it doesn't have to be as sanitary. So the price was real low. You can get a big old fucking jar of fucking
Let's
Tren.
take all the cow drugs.
Yeah, you can get a big jar of Tren for like maybe a couple $100.
It'll turn me into a serial killer.
Well, bodybuilders knew what that was. They were like, man, that's 19-nortestosterone in the fucking Tren.
Let's inject that shit.
Let's get that. So they were getting that shit from farmers and injecting it because it was cheap, super cheap. And they learned that you couldn't be on it longer than 90 days before your brain started fucking up. All those Tren cycles are talking about.
Like I said, if you have a
90
spouse
days, that's it.
or a partner, they will leave you.
Right. Yeah.
And you might end up in jail.
And you don't want to be
killing
you
somebody.
don't want to be on something that you can only do for 90 days. Because you want to be on it. You don't want to be on it 6 months. If you can.
Well, I think that was kind of the frustrating thing about it, was that people were trying to tell you that you were acting like a crazy person.
But you don't believe them.
But you don't believe them because you're just like, what are you talking about? I feel awesome.
Yeah, you feel awesome, yeah.
I'm the most awesome person that ever lived. It's that kind of shit.
Yeah,
so you can't reason with them.
I had to stop taking it for a couple weeks, and then I started to go, oh yeah, I'm not feeling good. Yeah. Why did I do that? You know what I mean? It's like,
Why did I do that?
Yeah, it's that kind of shit.
And it's like, well, like I said, I didn't know until after that all of this nonsense was going on. So it's like that whole time I was just kind of, I didn't know, because he told me after, it's like, I never would have hurt you. Like I was more, wanted to rip dudes' heads off.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, but I didn't know that at the time. I just thought you were acting like a lunatic.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like, so I'd be laying there in bed and be like, is he gonna like fucking shoot me in the back of the head or?
Nah.
Like I was like worried about it.
No, I wasn't thinking about you at all.
I know, but it's like, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Like I said, I didn't know that until after. So it was like, it was kind of a stressful 5 months or whatever it was. Oh, Side Quest here is here saying hi guys. What's up? Zach says gingers are known to, which I am naturally, in case you didn't know, I am a natural redhead, even though I've had it dyed black for a long time. Gingers are known to have a higher than normal pain resistance and tolerance to drugs. Yeah, I I'd have to see the data on that, but at least in my case, I've always had like a very high pain tolerance, and I've always had, everybody, like for example, even when I was growing up, everybody in the family gets chickenpox or gets the flu or gets something like that. I get it, but tiny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like some bullshit. It's like, like 5 hours later, I'm like, whatever. Like, I'm fine. You know what I mean? I don't think I've got the flu, but never bad enough. Because some people are like, oh my God, I was in bed for a week. I was like, I have never experienced that ever. I have never been so sick that I couldn't get out of bed, ever.
Yeah.
Ever. Which I guess is good.
Yeah.
But I've never experienced being that ill.
No,
ever.
I just thought it was strange that anything that was recommended for females had no effect on Jen.
Mm-mm.
Anything that was recommended for males, the beginner doses were highly effective. But she responded real well to anything 19 nor testosterone.
That was the only thing. And I was kind of excited because he kept giving me all this stuff, like he was injecting me with stuff. And I'm just like, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
I was like, it's not doing anything.
Yeah.
I don't feel any different. Like, it's not making me lose any weight. It's not building muscle up or anything.
I had to bring out the big guns.
Yeah. But
then I was reading all the fucking fine print shit that was fucking being done in the 70s and the 80s. And they were saying, no, women should take 19 nor testosterone. That it was very effective. And it was postmenopausal, so very effective. And it was just to keep physicality in women. And they were smaller doses because those girls weren't working out. I call them girls, they were women in their 50s. But no, it was reported even back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
That it had a very fucking low, it had a very good safety profile and very low side effects at the dosages that they were talking about. What you're on now, Primobolan, that's notorious for women. And it's much more mild than Deca.
Yeah.
It's has about 75% of the anabolic ability of testosterone, but a lot less of the androgenic effects, so a lot less male features. And so women can take Primo a lot longer than they can take 19 nor testosterone.
And like I said, really the only quote-unquote androgenic effects I've noticed were like my voice deepened a little bit, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Really.
But the thing is about the voice, if you take a little skinny mousy chick, she doesn't have much mass. She hasn't really been working. She's going to have a little twittery voice. You put 10 pounds of muscle on her, fucking get her in the gym, she's going to sound a little tougher.
And I mean, I've never had a little twittery voice.
So she's 50-something. She's going to start being kind of broad sounding. She sounds like a broad. Hey, you come over here. You look up.
I'm all about sounding like a broad.
You sound like a broad.
I'm into that. I'm into that. I never really, even when I was younger, I was like, I never really want to be one of those like femi.
Yeah.
I know you kind of like that.
Now
but
another thing is
I'm not really into like the whole
way
femi.
I've listened to the recordings of this show. She doesn't sound that the way she sounds recorded is not how she sounds in person.
No.
This microphone makes her sound a little bit deeper.
That's true.
All right. So if you see her in person, nobody who knows her in person really has commented.
Not really.
No.
Yeah, and really the only, like, our friend Angel who commented about it, she only commented on it after she watched one of our old videos.
And the new video.
And the new video and, like,
Right.
noticed the difference.
Right.
And then she commented on it.
Yeah.
And maybe she just did that to be an asshole. I'm not really sure. That kind of sounds like some shit she would do.
I don't know. That girl's been gunning for me for.
That's what I mean. So it's just kind of like she might be watching. I don't really know.
All right.
I doubt it.
No.
But she does watch this.
She
sometimes.
wanted to go on.
Yeah.
She wanted to go on, but only certain people can do this. You got to have. First of all, you have to be.
And we know, and I know her in real life. I've known her a long time. Actually, Tom has known her longer than I have, but I've known her forever. I don't even know how many years it's been.
She'd be great to have on the show.
She would actually.
She's really big into conspiracy theories.
Yeah, she's all into that.
All into that shit. She's got a chick. She's a little bit older, a little bit younger than me.
Yeah, she's in her 50s, like we are.
And she was a fucking, what do you call it? A chauffeur. She had her own limo. And
she had a limo.
Big giant
business.
Lincoln Town Car. Fucking Lincoln Town Car.
She drove like famous people around and stuff. Yeah. She had some stories about that.
Yeah, but she also was like making videos, YouTube videos, and she's been guests on other people's shows.
Yeah.
But she's never been on a guest on our show though. But
they've come over here.
Yeah.
Her and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
Whose name is Mike.
Yeah.
Who is also awesome.
Yeah.
I like Mike actually. I like both of them. They're very different.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's kind of like it's almost like the same dynamic as us, but gender swapped.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Funny thing is about her is that she actually believes in the flat Earth reality.
Which
She believes in the flat Earth.
She
truth.
loves you, Tom.
What's that?
She loves you, Tom.
Yeah. Yeah, but she actually believes the Earth is flat, and I was like, no. But I wasn't sure if she was trolling me.
I hope so.
I said, how do you explain satellites? She goes, they're on balloons. They're on balloons. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Like I said, you can go like a certain way, like for being funny and shit like that. But after a time, I'm just kind of like, wait, are you fucking serious right now? Because
yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have.
She
to
was big
reassess.
into the fucking geoengineering and the fucking the chemtrail stuff. They were putting stuff in jet fuel that was supposed to bounce solar radiation back out into space to cool the Earth. There was some programs that do that. Weather control, weather weapons and shit.
See, I don't know. Like I said.
No, they were doing that in the 60s.
Well, I know. Yeah, I know, but...
They were using weather weapons in Vietnam.
But I think the thing about it is that sometimes there's like a kernel of truth to conspiracy theories, but people blow it way out of proportion, I think is what
the U.S. Air
usually
Force was doing things like making it rain in Vietnam. And they were making it rain in certain areas at certain times to slow down the enemy or to give themselves cover from doing something else and moving troops and just shit like that. Because they could. They were cloud seeding and stuff, doing it through B-52 bombers. It worked. Did it make a difference? Probably not. Didn't help them win the war.
No. Well, like I said, I kind of feel like a lot of that is... Well, we tried to do this thing, but it didn't really work out the way we thought that it would.
A lot of that shit.
Like, so, and then, like, people take that and run with it like it was this big conspiracy. It's like, yeah, they did try to do that, but it didn't do it.
Probably wasn't worth what it cost.
Right, that's what I mean. So it's just like, that's kind of how most of that shit works out. Yeah. Xanada said, I noticed a difference in Jenny's voice because I listened to old shows, but I figured people's voice changes with age. I wouldn't make a comment on it. I'm not rude like that. Yeah. I did. I mean, I didn't mind. I didn't get a lot of rude comments about it. I actually did get kind of a nice comment on one of my other videos where someone who was a mom of a trans person asked me if I was trans because they said we wanted to show them like YouTube videos of like people. Yeah, and I thought that was kind of nice. Like they wrote me this big long
I
thing.
thought you were trans.
Well, yeah, and I was just like, I'm not, but it's like I'm not offended. It's like please don't be offended and all this other stuff. But it's like, you know, I have a son who's trans, and it's like I want to show them like other people that are doing the shit, and it's just like kind of like so I wasn't offended by that because it was like a really nice message. But it's like I kind of feel like most of the people that would comment that are trying to be offensive, and it's like I'm not offended by that because I don't think trans people are bad, so why would I be offended? But I don't know. So I was like, well, that just says something about you
that you're not a real woman.
That you would use that as an you know that you would use that as an insult against. I'm like, I'm not insulted.
You're trying to say you're not a real woman. No, you see where the clothes off. We got the videos for sale. She's a real woman. She looks great.
Always have been.
Yeah.
But you know. Like I said, I'm not offended. I just think it's kind of
you start becoming real physical. Weird. You start becoming getting high levels of physicality. You're gonna get a rough voice. You should see fucking
fucking Bakar Naviva's voice, and nobody ever say that she's trans. She's yeah, I'll show you guys. Carrie June's voice is a little twittery, but that might be slightly.
Well, like I said, I don't think I ever.
She might have actually be making sure that her voice sounds that way.
Even before I was, I started taking all the shit and working out and everything like that. It's just kind of like I was never super super femmy. I don't think I was masculine, but I don't think I was super femmy either.
That blonde right there. That's Angel. That's who she's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Susan. Oh, and there's Aurora.
And that's Aurora, the other blonde.
I don't know who the other.
But the blonde with the bottle is the girl with the fuck talking about the flat Earth. She's cool though.
These are all three of these girls right here. I don't know who that girl is. I'm sure she's probably cool too. But these three girls right here are very very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. We've known them a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Erica said, I have a deep voice for a girl, too. Always shocks me when I hear myself recorded. I think Jenny has a nice speaking voice like a DJ. Well, thank you very much. Like I said, it doesn't really bother me all that much. It's just, I thought it was weird when I just got, random messages about it. I didn't notice it until, people started pointing it out. Because I don't think about that kind of crap,
Yeah.
I just do my thing. I don't really think about what other people think about it, That's all I'm saying. What are we doing now?
I'm gonna show them some of Bakar, and then I'm not gonna play her voice though. All right, just gonna get a good.
Zach says, "Do you think anyone ever thought Kathleen Turner was trans? They never did, though."
Who's Kathleen Turner?
Kathleen Turner? No.
Oh.
Kathleen Turner, the fucking actress.
Okay, I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
Where I saw her.
From Man with Two Brains.
Okay, yeah.
From what the fuck was that other movie that she was in? She was in a million movies. Romancing the Stone. Yeah. Nobody ever thought she was trans. But nowadays people are kind of like.
That's Bakar Nabiva. She is fucking just jacked to the gills on a bunch of shit. Her voice is about 3 times as deep as Jen's, and real gravelly. All right. There's no man that would ever think that would be the trans girl.
No, there's dudes that would think that.
But she's too muscular, and then you look at the dude, and he's a ball at 300 pounds of fat.
That's kind of what I always feel like. Like I said,
that chick is.
I got a couple comments that were respectful, that were asking me just because it's like, oh, my kid is trans, and it's like I want to see other YouTubers that are, you know what I mean. And I was just like, no, I'm not, but I'm not offended that you asked. But it's just kind of like. Most people, I think, are asking you because they think it's going to offend you, and they think it's cute that you're getting mad about it. But I'm not mad about it. I'm just like, I just think that you're kind of sad that you would even ask me that, and you think that I'd be offended because I'm not offended. I don't know. People are sad. Those people are sad. Well, people are sad. Why do they care about some random ass stranger's sexuality? I never ever understood that ever.
Dudes don't get sex.
I guess not.
No, most dudes are incels.
I mean, and people is that how they spend their time? They're just going on YouTube and finding random ass people and being like, "You look like a dude." Yeah, and I'm just like,
Jenny thought that I was joking when I said most dudes are incels. I said no. I've seen the numbers. Most guys are incels.
Well, that would explain a lot. That would explain a lot.
80% of the women are chasing the top 20% of the guys. The guys that are more in the middle and below are totally invisible to women. Totally invisible.
Those are the guys probably they're lame.
Those are the guys that got the big bellies and that they're kind of, they're middle-aged or they're even young, They're in terrible shape. They don't date.
They're not that interesting.
They just work normal jobs. They're, you know what I mean? Fucking, and, here's the thing. You need the dudes to run a civilization. They're driving trucks. They're delivering shit. This whole
sure, I'm not saying that.
It's not like they're worthless, but they're worthless to an average woman who's in the dating scene. A woman in her 20s.
Or they wouldn't stand out. Like
they're
maybe,
invisible.
Like maybe if you knew them in another context.
Yeah, but they're not. She's not going to date him. Though. Right. She's not going to date him though. It's the same thing with me. At least half the women, maybe more than half, are invisible. I'm not saying they're ugly. I'm not saying that It's just that my eyes go right over them like they're not there. They're either too old, or they're out of shape, they're just dressed fucked up, or they're just, you know what I mean? There's nothing that makes them stand out. In general, and I don't want to hurt any women's feelings or anything like that. In general, Jen, back me up on this. When a woman hits 40, she becomes invisible, basically.
Well, most of the time.
Because when you see most of the women at 40, that's mom material now. You know what I mean? That's not who you're gunning for or whatever. Or maybe even grandma material later when they're in their 50s and 60s. They're just, you know. If I was single, a guy like me who date in their 30s or fucking late 20s, you know. Thing is, I wouldn't date 20s. Those girls are fucking stupid. But I could.
I also would not date
Just
girls in their
dumb.
20s.
Yeah, I don't
I'd go a little bit older.
I don't recommend guys in their 20s date women in their 20s. Don't do it. If you're a guy in your 20s, you need to date older women. 30s at least. They'll appreciate you.
It'll work out a lot better.
Yeah, work out a lot better.
We're not just saying that because we're old. We're just, we don't have any dog in that fight. We're just, you know.
No, Sophie's dating a younger guy. And he's
I mean,
crazy about her.
I have also dated a younger dude.
Yeah.
I dated a dude who was 11 years younger. Yeah. And I don't know. I was into it. I didn't know he was that much younger when I started hooking up with him, but you know, I found out later. But it's just kind of like,
when I was in my 20s, I was totally oriented towards women in their 20s, late teens. That's what I was going for. Women in their 30s, 30 plus, they were invisible to me. I was like, man, that's old women. But my thinking wasn't right. You know what I mean? I wouldn't have had to go through all that bullshit so those girls in their 20s put me through. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're getting laid, but you can't trust them. Woman who's 30 and above she's got some shit with her. She's
they've
gonna
got
be good
their
to you.
shit together.
Yeah, they got your shit together. She's
like I said, I didn't really get my
more-
shit together until I was like in my mid to late 30s, really.
Yeah. The problem
And I kind of feel like that's true of everyone.
problem is when you're a guy in your 20s is that you won't shut the fuck up.
Well, that's kind of true of most dudes.
You won't shut the fuck up. Right.
Dudes in general are not the best listeners. Like if they'll listen kind of. Well, okay. There's a difference between hearing and listening. They'll hear you, but they don't listen, as in they don't internalize that information and remember it. They'll remember other shit. They'll remember shit about like an original Star Trek episode from 1965 or whatever. But it's like they won't remember shit that you told them 2 days ago. You know what I mean? So this is why like chicks get frustrated. It's like, look, I told you this like before, and it's just like they don't remember. But I will say that it's like you have to, I don't know, like young people, they don't really they don't know what's going on. Either men or women. You know, you have to wait till you get old. Like I said, I don't think I got my shit figured out until I was about 38. And I got married young. I got married when I was 22.
Another thing, though, is that looking back on it, back in the 90s when I was in my 20s, the women that were in their 30s that were worth a shit and that were good were married. Nowadays, Nowadays, that's why they weren't around. That's probably why I wasn't dating them, thinking about it. There weren't any at the club. It was a different world back then. Yeah. Nowadays, they'd still be single. But back then, they were gone. They were married. So, I guess looking back on it, I was just doing the best of what I had.
Yeah.
It was just women in their 20s at the club back then. So, didn't do that.
I will say that when I first met you, I think I was 38.
Yeah.
39 when I first met you.
That's probably about 42, 43.
You were very resistant.
To what?
To the idea of committing to one person.
Yeah, well, it didn't offer me anything.
Right. So there was that.
Yeah.
And like I said, when I first met you, I was still married, although me and my husband were on the outs at the time. And I was in the process of separating and divorcing. Yeah. But it took us a while to kind of because he kept like wanting to not, like, because, you know, we've said before on the show, like for the first year and a half, we dated other people. Like we hung out all the time.
Yeah, all the time, yeah.
But I dated two or three or four other people, and like he dated a couple other people, and like
I was in kind of an in-between phase. I really wasn't a good relationship material. I think I didn't really feel like I had a whole lot to offer at that time, and really just sticking with one woman wouldn't have offered me much either, because there was you know what I mean, the market was pretty open.
Well, and the thing about it, like back then,
it was a different world back then.
I mean, you probably are still nowadays, but you were in high demand back then.
Yeah.
Which is why a lot of people,
not in high demand anymore, because
when I started hanging
everybody
out,
knows me and you have been together.
Well, when I started hanging out with you,
yeah,
I had many people, friends, other people, like warning me against hanging out with you. It was like, that dude, he's like a man whore. You know what I mean?
It wasn't true though.
No, it wasn't true. But you did have a lot of chicks liked you. A lot of you had kind of your pick.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I can understand like why you didn't really want to.
Yeah, I wasn't really knocking them down though.
No, you weren't. Like I said, I know everybody that, because like I said, I kind of knew you at that time. And it's crazy because like I heard all this shit about you. I didn't really believe it because I kind of knew you, and I was just like, he doesn't really seem like.
Well, a lot of it was coming from guys that wanted to date her.
Right, and I acknowledged that. So I was just kind of like, well, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because, like I said, I knew you. I had talked to you like extensively, like over Facebook and in
One
person
of those dudes apologized to me later on.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm not going to say I'm not going to say his name.
Yeah.
But for a long time, when there was that kind of in between period after my divorce was final, and when I was still kind of open and I was single and I was going out by myself or going out with girlfriends or whatever, and sometimes like picking up one night stands and stuff like that, but it's just kind of like I was kind of like whatever. But I met you and I was just kind of like, man, I really like that dude, but you were kind of like trying to keep me at arm's length. You were just kind of like, yeah, I'm not, because you had your own shit going on.
Well, another thing is that Sonia and my other friends were like, she just got divorced. Let her play the field.
I did,
for a while.
yeah.
There was a lot of that,
I did.
Yeah, and I was like,
I admit
they're
that.
like, yeah. She's like, she doesn't need to be in another relationship.
I didn't like go slutty, totally slutty.
No, you were just like everybody else.
But I did kind of play the field a little bit because I hadn't. I mean, I got married real young, and I was married, like I said, for 14 years. I didn't cheat on that dude. He thought I did, but I didn't. And so, for 14 years. And then after I was divorced, I was like, all right, I'm going to go out with my girlfriends and we're going to do this and that. And I'm just going to pick up some dudes and shit like that. So I did that.
A lot of that shit was that dudes and chicks were gunning. Dudes were gunning for you and chicks were gunning for me. And they were fucking kind of talking shit.
Well, yeah. And in a lot of ways, it was real obvious that they were doing that.
Because we were hanging out they thought we were hanging out too much.
Because we just kind of naturally... I mean, we met each other at iBar.
Yeah.
Now Barbarella.
Yeah.
We met each other there, and we just kind of like, we talked all the time, and it's like, I was kind of single, or I was dating other people, he was dating other people, but it's like, we just kept talking and shit like that, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, it was just kind of a situation where we just started hanging out, like, more and more, even though we were still dating other people. Like, even, like, I would stay at your house.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
And so there was that whole thing, but I don't know, it was just kind of like this weird situation because I kind of like knew that you were into me and I was like kind of into you, but it was like this whole weird, and all your friends were saying, it was like, she just got divorced, so like don't do that kind of shit, but you know what I mean. I
wasn't really listening to him 100%. I was just going like, yeah, we let her go out and fucking see what the world's like.
Which I did, but it was all right.
We were younger back then, so it wasn't the same situation too. You know what I mean? Fucking,
yeah, that's true.
You were still in your 30s. I was in my very early 40s.
I was in my very late 30s.
And nobody knew. A lot of people didn't know I was in my early 40s. I didn't look like I was in my early 40s.
No, you didn't.
Looked like I was in my mid 30s, if that. So a lot of people didn't know.
But yeah, I did have one guy. After I got divorced, I'm not gonna say what his name is because he's a nice dude. I don't want to cast aspersions. But he was like really into, like, I knew him in person, like, he was at like a lot of the clubs we used to hang out. And sometimes I'd hang out with him and we would talk and stuff like that. We had a lot in common and whatever. But he seemed like he was super in love with me. So it's like he would text me like 50 times. Like I'd open my phone and there'd be like 50 fucking days. And I'm just like, this is excessive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was getting a little weirded out.
Don't blow up women's phones, man. Don't fucking...
I mean, it's nice and everything. It's like, I get what they're going for, but...
It's called simping.
You do that too much, it's creepy. It's creepy. And I thought it was a little bit creepy. So, but I didn't want to say anything because he was a nice dude, and I didn't think he would do anything bad or anything. So that went on for a while, and then like finally, like later on, when me and Tom got together, I will say that it was probably like, what was it, like a year or two later?
Yeah.
We were at venue 13 when it was at that weird, I don't even remember what that weird venue was.
He said, man, I'm sorry.
But he did actually like come up to Tom and say, because he had been shitting on Tom.
Yeah, he said, I made a bunch of stuff up about you.
That he would tell me, it's like, that dude doesn't love you, he's a man whore, blah blah blah. And I'm just like, you don't even know him, like shut the fuck up, like because I knew you.
Yeah, no, it's just his doing his job. He's trying to destroy the competition.
Yeah.
See, here's the thing.
But he did actually have the balls to come up. He actually came up to Tom later on at venue 13. He's like, I'm really sorry. It's like, I said all this fucked up shit about you. I told her all this stuff about you. That like you were a whore and like you didn't love her and all this other kind of stuff, and it's like, I'm really sorry. He said he was really sorry, and I was like, that's awesome. I love that he did that.
It's fucking funny.
I love that he did that.
He didn't have to do that shit. But
he didn't have to, but I appreciated that because he understood. It's like, you know, I said all this shit about you, and I like, I feel bad about it.
That was a different time. That was probably around 2010, maybe 2011. Was that about when that was?
Probably, yeah.
And, you know, social media was still kind of new when that was going on. And cell phones were now a thing. You could text people. That was in full swing by that time. But the culture, the online culture was not really as developed. Dudes would fucking message too much. They'd fucking blow chicks' phones up. They'd fucking comment in public on fucking women's fucking photos and shit. They didn't really know the rules. It was just wholesale simping. The apocalypse of simping.
Simpocalypse.
It's the simpocalypse. All right.
If you will.
Yeah. I never like some chick's photos you don't know her. If you know her, she's a friend of yours, yeah, you can like her photos.
See, but you
don't know her, don't
that's
like her
another
fucking
thing.
photos.
Like, because you friend somebody... Yeah. And then suddenly they go back and like photos of you from like 5 years ago.
And then they're locking it.
That's creepy.
They're going through
that's
all
creepy.
your photos and checking.
Because that means you're going through all of her history. I'm like, that's creepy.
Because you're loving on that chick, okay? And she sees, don't do that shit.
Please don't do that.
You can immediately.
It's so creepy.
I'm gonna fucking instruct these young men. Like I told you, 80% of those women are only looking at the top 20% of the guys. If you're in the middle, that means you're unremarkable, she's not looking at you at all. You start liking those photos, she's gonna go, ew.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is this about?
Dude? You know
who's this creep?
I'm not looking at this guy. Who the fuck is this guy? So
please don't do that.
It's backfires to a guy. He doesn't realize what that looks like, but dudes do not have. Well, it's not just dudes, women too. People do not have fucking strategic empathy. They can't put themselves in the other person's shoes of what it would look like. They're only seeing things from their point of view.
That's the cause of a lot of problems in the world.
Yeah, guys going like, well, I am liking her photos, so it's okay. She's seeing it like, who's this motherfucker?
Who the fuck is this? This random motherfucker. I don't know this person. Yeah. And they are going through all my old photos from like 8 years ago and liking them. That is creepy.
Yeah. And
I'm sorry, that's creepy.
And you might be a 6 out of 10.
That's creepy.
But a woman doesn't see a 6 when she sees a guy that's a 6. She sees a 3. Okay? Women always demote men.
Well, that because of their behavior.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, like I said, your looks are only a tiny portion. Your behavior, and behavior extends
There's
to
some caveats to
well,
that.
no.
Yeah.
Your behavior extends to the shit you do online.
Yeah.
Even if you're super good looking and you friend me and I'm just like, okay, whatever, we're friends now, and then you go back and like photos of me from like 8 years ago, that's creepy.
There's some truth to what Jenny's saying, but it's not all that true. I have seen.
Oh, so you're gonna.
I have seen video proof. Okay.
Okay.
Of a fucking male model who's about 6 feet tall, got a fucking six pack. He's looking good. He's not like a bodybuilder type, but he's a model. Okay. Walk downtown out in front of a bunch of clubs, with a bunch of girls out of it, and girls just falling all over that dude. That dude would fucking walked by, the hottest chick there, and as he walked by, he just kind of rubbed his shoulder up against her and just walked by. She looked at him, looked at his ass, and fucking pinched his ass as he walked by. And he turned around like that, and she waved and fucking... No. If you look fine, your behavior does not fucking matter in the same way. If that
much.
If that dude was a 5...
You can get away with more.
Right.
I will say that.
If that dude was a 5...
But you still can't get away with anything.
That dude was actually a 9. Okay? The dude was a 9. He was a fucking male model. The girl was probably about an 8. She was fucking simping on that dude. Go ahead and try that shit with your fucking 5'7", 5'6" ass at being a 3.
Somebody will put a fist down your throat.
No, that ain't gonna work. But that dude was dressed right, carried himself right, and he was a model.
But like I said,
Okay.
looks, and we've said this before, will only get you so far.
Yeah, there was.
It does help. Like, you can get away with stuff that somebody that's more average looking would not be able to get away with, but you can only get away with shit for like so far.
Yeah. The dude is walking
you
down.
Push your advantage too much.
Dude is walking down a drag, and his buddy's following him with a fucking hidden camera, fucking on his lapel, and he's fucking 20 meters behind him, so they don't look together. He's passing girls. These girls are like 7s. They're pretty good looking girls. He's passing them, and they're double taking. They're looking at each other, and giggling and shit. Okay, yeah.
Although this is young people, right?
They're young, 20s.
Because like I said,
20s.
I would not even.
But
notice.
that dude was about 30.
I would not even notice.
They're rando.
People just look like people.
They were kind of rando.
They just look like little meat puppets walking by.
Rando, mainstream.
Yeah,
chicks outside the clubs, alcohol involved.
Sure.
It's Saturday night or Friday night, and dude was strutting, and he's a fucking 9. Hell yeah.
Probably, you know what? If I saw that, I'd probably think like, look at that. Like, who the fuck does he think he is? Oh, Jesus Christ. Try hard.
I can show you the video. You probably know that's a hot motherfucker. This is what you would do.
Nah, that's probably what I would think. Well, I'm not a normal person. It's just like I don't play that game.
Normie club chicks with their little.
Like I said, I don't play that game.
So no,
I don't play that game. I don't like the little show offy kind of shit. I don't like any.
Looks is a huge factor.
It is, but it's just kind of like I don't really fall for that.
Yeah,
I just don't. It's not impressive, but I don't know that dude. I'm sure he's probably a douche. So it's just kind of like it doesn't have any effect on me, honestly. You walk by, I'm just like, good for you. All right. Look at
Except when it was me.
Look at you trying hard.
See, but
the thing about it was that
yeah,
but the thing about it is that you were. That was more my vibe.
Yeah, but that dude was working his vibe too.
Sure, like I said, that's a whole different shit. I don't play that.
Well, our shit was a whole different shit.
I don't know anything about that.
He was doing well in his
I just
arena.
noticed you because it's like, man, that dude knows how to dress. Because like a lot of dudes don't. Yeah. So it's like he's got some cool outfits. Yeah. I noticed that you like dance to a lot of good songs.
Yeah.
And that was probably the first thing I noticed. Was just kind of like, oh, he likes a lot of the same songs that I do.
And I can dance.
And you could dance, which a lot of dudes cannot.
Yeah.
Like, he's got rhythm and stuff. So I was just kind of... So I think that was more what I noticed.
Yeah.
More than anything. Like, you actually... Like, because you made an effort. A lot of dudes do not make an effort.
Well, I fucking came out of Man Ray.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you could dress, you could dance, you knew all the songs, and I was just kind of like, man, because like I said, like iBar is awesome. Like back in the day, like it's Barbarella now, it's a different place. But there was a lot of dudes there. There's a lot of good looking dudes there and shit like that. But it's like a lot of them can't really dance, or a lot of dudes can't dance, honestly, or they can't dress either. So I think that was why you stood out. I think that was why so many women also were gunning for your ass. It's like, here's a motherfucker that knows how to dress, he knows how to dance, and you're also like really friendly. You're very outgoing. That was one thing that I liked about you, is that you were very gregarious. You were very outgoing. You had a lot of friends. Like, you had like male, female, and I thought that was kind of cool that like you kind of knew everybody and you were like cool with everybody, and everybody kind of knew you. And
I'm gonna show some old pictures of what she's talking about. I wasn't quite the same person I am now. I was a lot younger. I had hair.
I had hair.
I wasn't jacked, but I was in good shape. And well, here's one of me and Jam.
Oh, that's a good. That was from the vampire ball.
Yeah.
At the castle.
Yeah, I don't
that
think
was
you can
several
really see
years
me
ago.
in there. Yeah, try to see one where you can.
We were very pale.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a lot of dudes don't. I kind of feel like they're used to just kind of skating by on whatever, so it's like they don't really feel like they have to make any effort. A lot of dudes are very low effort. I've noticed.
Yeah.
Oh, Kaylee.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see my face in there. There you go.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me, Jen, Kaylee.
That's our friend Kaylee. She died.
Yeah, that was our little lesbian daughter.
She died of cancer, actually.
Poor girl.
But yeah, I know. She was so young.
Yeah.
She was really young. She was only in her 30s. But yeah, so I kind of feel like that's why.
Okay, here this is when I was fucking pretty much in full force.
This was what you looked like.
Yeah, when she first saw me,
met you.
Yeah, that's what I looked like. That I was actually.
And it's like
thin.
A lot of dudes do not look like that.
Yeah.
You had cool outfits. Like I said, you knew everybody.
Yeah.
You seemed very friendly.
Yeah, and I was actually
very approachable.
Kind of thin.
Well, I don't care about that, but I'm just saying
that.
it's just like you seem very approachable and friendly. You knew a lot of people. You looked good. You could dance, which, like I said, a lot of dudes can't. So that's kind of a big factor.
Yeah, that's what I looked like then.
Oh, it's Tori.
Yeah, me and Tori.
That was when you had your hair bleached.
Yeah.
Tori's awesome, by the way.
Yeah.
We love Tori. You dated her a little. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know if
dated
dated was the right word, but yeah, a
We
little bit.
did,
Yeah. But she's awesome. I love her. I haven't seen her in a long time, though. She hasn't been out in a while. But she's awesome.
Remember when I looked like that?
Yeah. See?
Yeah.
looking like bleach blonde.
Be like,
Gary.
I'd be like fucking cough it up, bitches. Cough it up.
I mean,
Yeah. Oh yeah, remember this?
Let me see.
Hold on.
Let me see. Is that Ari?
Yeah, me and Ari.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Ari is also awesome.
Yeah.
She's a pharmacist now.
Yeah. Oh, this is a good picture of me and fucking Princess Leia.
It's probably from that same night.
I like that picture, actually.
Yeah.
The cardboard cutout of like.
I have fucking bleach blonde hair.
Yeah.
For some of that time. It looked like fucking Nick Rhodes from fucking Duran Duran.
You did a bit.
I had people telling me that. You remind me so much of Nick Rhodes. Yeah.
But like I said, see, that's the thing. I kind of feel like a lot of dudes, I guess they're just so used to like skating by on whatever minuscule charms they might have.
Yeah.
That they don't feel like they have to like step up their game or like make an effort or anything like that. But it's like, I don't even notice. I only noticed you. Because, like I said, I was...
Look at my game.
Yeah, see, I love
that. That was my game,
I
bro.
love that. Like I said, that's kind of what you looked like when I first saw you.
Yeah.
And I was like, look at that motherfucker. Yeah. He has got his shit together. Like, he has got, like, the whole outfit.
My full goth
You knew all the music.
game.
You could dance. You had music. Yeah. You had, like, rhythm and stuff. And I was just kind of like, man, that's cool. Because you don't see that a lot.
That is my dress uniform in full goth drag.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He still got all of his outfits.
I still got all that.
Although he can't wear a lot of them now because now his arms are like all
too big in the fucking
he's all muscular, so he can't wear them anymore because they were like smaller. But it's just kind of like a lot. I feel like a lot of dudes are kind of like they want. Yeah, see, look at that motherfucker.
How's the bitch gonna say no
How
to that?
could you not?
Only thing I need is a fucking pipe.
Like I said, that's what you looked like.
Yeah.
When I first saw you.
Yeah. Coming back from the sea, from our travels
So
at
I'm
sea.
just kind of like, yeah.
I was
I'm like, all about that.
and
I'm all about
I was about 43, 44 at that time.
Yeah, because I think when I met you, I was 38 or 39.
Yeah.
So, and you're like, what, 3 years older than me?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Four,
you're in
four.
like your early 40s.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, I mean, come on.
Me outside trashing vaudeville, New York.
I remember that story.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes.
I used to go there all the time. Yeah, Erica said Tom did have some great outfits. He does. He still got them, like I said, but he always looks good when he goes out.
Yeah, and I was having this section. This is a long time before Jan.
Oh, there's Sonia. Who's that chick in the middle?
You know who that is? That's Nancy.
Oh, is it?
They were fighting over me.
Is that Nancy?
That's Nancy.
That doesn't look like
That's
Nancy.
Nancy.
I mean, I know.
I'll
that's
show you
Sonia,
another
but-
picture.
Oh, okay.
Show you another
I know.
picture.
I know what Nancy looks like. I've
Yeah.
seen her lots of times, but it's just like that just doesn't look like her.
No, that's Nancy right there. It's kind of a washed out picture, but that's her Ciarra.
Yeah. Oh, and there's Jason.
Yeah.
We love Jason. But yeah, we just saw him a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago, actually. Yeah, Jason's awesome. We don't see Nancy that much.
Nancy's
She's a
with
little.
that,
She's a little weird.
Yeah, Nancy's with that dude still.
I'm never quite sure.
It's me and my horse game.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
The thing about Nancy
That's
is
close
that
to where we are right now.
yeah.
That's just on the other side of the street.
The thing about Nancy is like I never really understood. Like I know her. I've talked to her lots of times, but I never really know where I stand with her. She always seems a little. I don't know. I can't explain it. I can't explain it.
Nancy's fucking jealous of you.
Well, yeah, I get that.
This is what I look
get
like
that.
when Jen first saw me.
Yeah, it was that.
Dancing and girls taking pictures of me.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, who is sucking your dick there?
Nobody's sucking
Is
my
that
dick.
Sonia?
No, that's Sonia taking a picture of me.
Oh, okay.
And then somebody else taking a picture of me back there.
Yeah.
It was jamming.
Like I said,
Yeah.
well, you know, I'm a girl. We go to goth clubs all the time.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of dudes can't really dress all that well. They can't really dance. Even a lot of goth dudes can't really dance. I don't understand that phenomenon. But
Yeah, well, it depends on who it is.
it depends on who it is. We do know some that can dance, but honestly, I'm gonna say in the goth scene, it's probably like 80% girls are really good dancers, maybe 20% of dudes are good dancers. Maybe not even that many. I don't understand what the problem
See,
is.
I gotta come up with some some more outfits now.
Yeah, you should.
Tom had some great. Yeah, those outfits were outfits of their time though. You could wear that today, but only like at a formal kind of event.
Yeah, we wouldn't usually wear that.
Kind of too dressed up for today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna come because with my new physique and shit, I'm gonna try to perfect a fucking leather daddy look.
I love that idea.
Yeah, kind of more like what Toby does.
Because Toby looks
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, he goes all out. Whenever he goes out, he has a whole...
Toby showed up
Man.
as a fucking leather daddy in a PVC fucking outfit as an incubus with a fucking devil tail and big fucking horns.
Yeah.
And fucking bat wings
It's
and
great.
shit. Yeah.
And he
Yeah,
is also a really good dancer.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's gay as shit, though.
Yeah.
But he's super hot. He's super hot, though.
Yeah.
Also, gotta pee.
Okay.
Gonna get a drink. So, talk some more about stuff.
I'll show some pictures of Toby. I got some pictures of Toby here. I don't have any of him dressed as an incubus though. Well, he might have some on his. He might have some.
That was only a few weeks ago.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see if I can find some pictures of Toby as the incubus. Yeah. Okay. Where is it? I don't see any pictures of him. He's Toby's into down. A lot of superhero stuff. Superhero erotica. Okay. Hold on.
That's a pretty recent picture of Toby. But don't have that's what he looks like. I'm gonna try to find some of him. He's a little bit older than me. He's actually maybe 57, 58. There's Toby's shadow out on the dance floor. There's Toby as I think Black Panther. Yeah. Yeah, this is a classic one. That's dope. But I couldn't. He didn't have one of him as a fucking incubus though. Oh, hey, yeah, here's one. Tobe dressed as Black Panther with some hottie. I don't know. I don't remember what club that is. But usually when you're at the club, you see him like that. He's in some kind of a fetish outfit or superhero. This dude's a fucking chick magnet. Wherever he goes, he's got that hanging off of him.
Wait, who are you talking about?
So that's where you see him. Yeah, fucking in some kind of a fucking superhero or bondage outfit with some chicks hanging off of it.
Well, plus he's just like a really awesome dude. I
Yeah.
just like, you know what I mean.
I couldn't find any recent photos of him.
He didn't
not
actually. He didn't post a picture of that
He didn't-
incubus outfit
yeah,
or the.
I thought he would have one.
Because man, that was a kick-ass outfit. He did that for Halloween.
He's posting pictures of fucking superheroes.
Is he going to Barbarella tomorrow? He constantly posts pictures of like superheroes' asses.
Superheroes' asses taking a piss at the urinal.
Yeah, he's real into that for some
he's
reason.
Into that fucking
But yeah,
shit.
well, yeah, we know.
He's
But
into that
I mean,
kinky shit. I'm gonna show a picture.
he'll probably be at Barbarella tomorrow night. It's
Yeah.
like Saturday's his favorite.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to go out tomorrow night. Actually, we haven't been to like Barbarella 80s night in a long time. That's all the old fuckers night, but it's also kind of cool. You know?
Yeah.
You always gonna want to go to Mannequins on Friday, but
Toby will post pictures like that. Like Spider-Man impressed by the size of the fucking Hulk.
he's like, oh,
Damn, his spider sense is going off. His spider sense is going.
fucking Toby.
No, I thought he would have posted a picture of him as the incubus.
I would have thought that
Yeah.
too. Like I said, well, I mean, you might have to go back a while because that was Halloween.
Yeah.
So that was like several months ago. But that was a really good outfit. But he always has like really good outfits when he comes out. He always like goes all out. And he's been going out for forever. Like I said, he's older than us.
Yeah.
And he's all into the 80s shit, man.
He's into everything though.
Yeah. And he's like a really good dancer. He's a really good dancer.
There's a decent picture of him. With everybody.
Is that Charisse?
It's Charisse, yeah.
Oh, and there's Dr.
Yeah,
Michael.
Yeah, Dr. Michael right there, that crazy motherfucker in the back.
Dr. Michael.
Yeah.
Dr.
He's like
Michael.
Riff Raff from fucking...
We've talked about him before.
Yeah.
Dr. Michael he's a vet. He's a veterinarian.
Yeah.
And he actually has his own clinic. And he's actually a really good veterinarian. He is also kind of a crazy person.
Yeah,
and he
he's
comes
fucking nuts.
out, yeah. He's awesome though. I love him. We've known him for like forever, and it's
Yeah.
like he comes out on he's been coming out to like Saturday nights, like the 80s night at iBar/Barbarella for I don't even remember how long. And he always gets like super fucked up on tequila,
Yeah.
and he's just like pinching people's nipples and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Well, dude's nipples, not
Yeah,
girl.
and there's like this game
It's
with Dr. Michael.
he's hilarious.
Drunker he gets, the more affectionate he's gonna get, the more hot he thinks you are, and the more
Yeah.
he's gonna hang off of you, and the more he's gonna try to fuck with you to get you to fucking break and run. Basically, what he's trying to do. He's trying to scare you away with his
Yeah.
fucking sex attack.
That's kind of his whole thing.
Basically what it is. And
Not
to
in
do
an
that
obnoxious
is
way,
a
but-
sign of weakness. You have to ignore it.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah,
He'll
it's
be
a whole
fucking
thing.
hanging out, dude, fucking kind of grabbing nipples and shit, trying to put his fucking hand down in front of my pants, and I'm fucking totally ignoring it.
Yeah, you just have to
talking about
roll
it.
with it because
He won't fucking do it, but he's gonna because if you fucking go, man, what do you do like that? He'll go, what? He'll make a big deal over the fact that you reacted to it.
yeah, he wants you to react to it.
It's
But like I
it's a
said, we've
mind-
known him forever,
it's a
so
mind
it's not,
game. Yeah,
so it's not weird.
Yeah, he won't do that. If somebody doesn't know.
Yeah,
He's going to do that.
and he
somebody
doesn't do it to
friends.
chicks. He just does it to dudes.
Does it to dudes?
He does it to
Yeah, does it to dudes.
We've known him forever.
And
He is another dude that is like, he's super like he'll go out there when all the 80s music is on, and he's just like super into it. He'll be like down on the knees and like doing all the like, dramatic shit and everything. It's great. It's great. I love that shit. Well, that's kind of one of the coolest things about Barbarella, which used to be called iBar, is that everybody went there, and it's like it was kind of understood that when you went there, it was almost like a judgment-free zone. Like you could just kind of go out on the dance floor and do whatever crazy shit you wanted, and everybody would just be like, "All right, I guess that happens." Like nobody would make fun of you, or nobody would. They'd just be like, "All right." You know what I mean? It's a safe space, is what I'm saying. So that's what I always kind of liked about it. So I kind of like that they now moved it to a place that actually is a safe space, because you can't just wander in there because it's kind of hard to find now. It's like in the warehouse district. And I kind of like that about it. But you have to go there on purpose. Even with the GPS, it's kind of hard to find. So we'll see how that goes. I guess we got to take Stacy there, huh? When she comes.
where's that? Yeah, I just got a message from her during the show.
Oh, what'd she say?
She said her mom lives an hour and a half away. So if she said it would be cool if she could hang out for a couple of days if we would put up with her for the Friday and Saturday.
Okay,
She wants to do the Friday show too.
Okay. So when that's going to be end of March, right?
I think she said the 22nd.
Okay, March 22nd.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have if DJ Maniac is not here this evening.
Yeah.
But he knows her. I mean,
Yeah.
we know her, but then she moved up there, and she was like, "Hey, I know Tom and Jenny," and she's like, "Oh my god, I also know Tom and Jenny, just from the show." But she knows us in person because she's from here, and we have a lot of stories about her. Not a lot of stories. One story.
We can talk about this. We can talk about the stories when she's here, though.
Yeah, one story in particular that we have about her. But but yeah, so she hasn't been back here in a long time, and she's like, "I'm coming down to Florida to visit my family," like because her parents still live down here, and she doesn't really know anybody down here anymore because it's been a while. So
Yeah,
she wanted to go out. She wanted to go to Mannequins and Barbarella and stuff, and we said, well, you can crash at our house because there's lots of space.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that will be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I'll show them.
I'm looking forward to it. She's super cool. I like her.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that, like I said, that will probably be, and she wants to be on the Friday show too. So we'll see how that works out. But we've known her for how many years have we known her for?
Ton.
But she moved away a long time ago.
That's who we're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's her.
That's her. Done.
And yeah. Yeah, she's super cool. I like her.
She's a Mensa. She's a genius. She's a physicist.
She's a physicist.
She's a physicist. That's what she does.
I think she's a nuclear physicist.
I think she's a
actually.
nuclear physicist. Yeah.
Yeah.
She works.
Last I heard, I don't know what she's doing now.
working
but-
for fucking nuclear companies and shit like that.
Yeah.
That's her. She's a fucking. But she's part of that Mensa society.
Yeah, like I said. So you can never tell.
Yeah.
You see people who look all gassed out with like all this kind of stuff, and
Yeah.
you think, oh, they're just bums and like they just lay around and stuff.
She's
Nah.
a fucking genius.
Like I said, we know people that are doctors,
Yeah.
lawyers, veterinarians, nuclear physicists that look like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, so she's probably gonna come down and stay with us for a couple of days in like next month. So that'll be fun. I haven't seen her in a long time. Like I said, she's been hanging out with DJ Maniac up in New York for a while. They've been going to some shows. I saw some pictures and stuff. But yeah, that'll be cool. She'll come down. We'll take her to Mannequins. We might go to Barbarella on Saturday night. But like I said, she hasn't been here in a long time, and she's like, I don't know anybody anymore. because she hasn't been down here in such a long time. But a lot of the same people are still around. You know what I mean? That's kind of the cool thing about the Orlando, mostly the Orlando scene. I don't know about Tampa, but the Orlando scene is like you can be away for a year or two and you come back and most of the same people are still there. Like, yeah, there are some new people, but most of the old people are still like hanging out. You know what I mean? It would be cool if we could go out to the 80s night tomorrow night. You know?
Yeah.
I haven't been to Barbarella Saturday in a long time. That's kind of my favorite. We were going to go to the to Mannequins tonight for a Friday, but I don't know. I was kind of worried about the car. It's like we don't have insurance yet. We don't have the tag yet and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't really want to I don't want to tempt fate, but we'll see tomorrow night. Plus, I'm kind of tired. I woke up so fucking early this morning. I woke up like 6:45 or something like that. Something like that. DVD Dragon said, "You see, the love from Tren is different from that of Square."
Yeah.
That was from a long time ago. Danny says, thumbs up, subscribe, you Muppets, is what I want to say, but I'm not going to. I mean, you just did. Xana said I had a coworker tell me she thought I was 25, and I'm 34, so I guess I have good genes. You know.
Yeah.
Erica said I can't date someone a lot younger. I feel like we have nothing in common. Yeah. I mean, we've met people that were young enough to be our kids that we actually had a surprisingly large amount in common with. But not in a dating kind of way, but it's just kind of in a way where it's like, wow, you're like fucking 22 and you know all of this shit. You know what I mean? In that kind of way, it's kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know about dating somebody that was that much younger. Because if every time I made like a reference to like some old ass movie and they'd be like, what's that? That would get old. I feel like that would get really old, you know? So, do you want to shut it down, or you seem like you're kind of...
Well, I was talking to Murder Hornet about something important. He's fucking busting in. Is he in the comment section?
I have not seen him in the comment section.
Good.
But is it like kind of super important, like someone's
Kinda,
going to jail or something?
No.
Oh, so it's not that important.
No.
Not that important. You could talk about it later, right?
He's showing me things that he bought. All right.
Okay.
And there's a lot of fucking. Never mind.
What?
The information is incorrect.
Oh.
So I don't know what he bought.
Oh.
Yeah. Some of that stuff. Never mind.
Never mind. Well, I guess I'm gonna shut it down. If you're gonna
It's towards the end of the night. Anyway.
Just do all that all night.
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna shut it down.
Yeah.
And go do some other shit. So yeah. All right. So Monday we will probably do the movie review about The Others because Xana sent us that, and I'm very excited to rewatch that because I love that fucking movie. And I'm kind of excited for Tom to see it. I hope he likes it, but I don't know. He might not. Who fucking knows how that's going to go. But I really like that movie. And if he's going to be that way, we'll talk about it. So we'll talk about that on Monday. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend. And thank you for dropping by this evening. And we will see you guys again on Monday night. Good night.